Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to IRC Esports. You are now watching round 10 of the season 4 of the ACC League. This is the grand finale. We are finally here in Suzuka circuit. I am joined by my co-commentators. Oh, of course, let me introduce myself before that. This is Dan the SSJ Assassin. And with me here in the com box are Star Max Lord and our own very own IRC young blood, fiery blood, SlayaYT. How are you doing today, guys?
I'm doing
I'm
well.
good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So,
Was
Slaya, introduce yourself to the viewers, please.
yes. Good evening, guys. I am Slaya on Breaks. Well, that is my new name now after I have caused an incident in IRC. But this is my first time commentating, and yeah, pretty happy to be here. And especially it's a finale, so I am very excited to commentate this epic race.
Well, we are happy to have you here as well, Slaya. This will be your first experience in commentating, like you have told before, and we are expecting that you will learn something from this experience, and this will be one of the biggest experiences you will get in IRC, it being since it is the grand finale of one of the seasons. So let us move to the game itself. I think the quali session has started. Just give me a second. Yep, there we go. So Davlish has already set a wow. He's already broken his lap time record, the one which I knew about. He's done a 2 minute 8:45.
Yeah, Tablish looks very rapid around this track, and he was very confident beforehand as well. And I think the lap time really shows for it because the next fastest driver, Piyush Gandhi, is second behind him. So that seems like a pretty convincing gap that Tablish has formed.
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch there. Yes, we were getting some unwanted things displayed on the screen. Yes. Hold on, I think the stream is out. Just give me a minute.
The stream is fine on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just 1 second. Give me just a second. Yeah, there we go. I pressed something on my computer. Unfortunately, I think you guys might have missed out on a few seconds of display. Can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
The speed now? Yeah, there we go. So we are on board Davlish. I think he will be diving into the pits at the end of this lap if that is what ACC drivers do. And the closest guy to him is Piyush Gandhi, and that's not even quite. I mean, that's not even close, to be honest. He's almost a second off. And Davlish
Well,
Davlish broke his own lap record again. He did a
well,
0.4.
I think that isn't really surprising considering Davlish is in pro class and Piyush Gandhi is in AM class. Piyush Gandhi is relatively new to the game, but he's really proven himself, and we expect to see good things from him. And clearly, the spread at this track seems a lot because we can already see the gap from first to eighth place, and people behind haven't even set laps is 6 seconds almost. So it just goes to show that how much skill is required to set a blistering lap time like Davlish has done right here.
Well, rightly said, Slaya. I mean, it's just. I mean, we are barely halfway into the quali session. There's still a lot of action left for us. And wow, look at that. Pandas slowed down for some odd reason. Yes, he set a blazingly fast lap of 2:01, if my math is right. Yes,
Yes.
it will be. It should be a 2:01. So that puts him comfortably in P2. Well, I'm quite surprised that grid is actually not very populated. We're seeing only 12 drivers so far. Usually, our grid is usually packed with so many drivers.
I think the main factor for that is what happened last week, and the weather forecast from last week have carried on to this race as well. So yes, last week we also had a 60% chance of rain, and here at Suzuka also we have a 60% chance of rain, but thankfully for the drivers, the quali is dry. Let's see what the forecast suggests in the race.
Well, I hate to spoil the surprise, but it looks like the weather forecast says that it's gonna be a cloudy session. I'm just using my F1 knowledge here,
Yeah,
whatever I
no.
can apply here. It says that it's going to be a dry session, so yeah, it'll be pretty comfortable for the drivers, but not
It's
so
not
entertaining
gonna
for the
be
viewers.
it's not going to be that comfortable for the drivers because as we can see on the top right the track is fast, which is not ideal for the drivers. They won't be able to extract that much pace out of their cars. I think if with an optimum track, Davlish and Panda, the likes of those drivers will be able to go into the 59s with ease.
Wow, 159. That is a lap time which I've not seen so far. I mean, I've been watching their practice sessions since the last 1 hour, and they were struggling to make it past the 201s. But as soon as we switched to the game, I'm seeing Davlish's time of a 2 minute point 2.4, and like I was like surprised. I was shocked. Got me off my chair there for a second.
I think then the F1 knowledge won't really come into play here in this situation because in ACC there are a lot of weather conditions for the track as well, and so that will also be a very big contributing factor for the lap times. And during the practice sessions, the track was also not ideal here as well. It's not that ideal, but it's better than what we saw in practice.
Well, yeah, you might be right there, Slayer, because yes, I need to watch at least I need to at least stream a few more ACC events before I get even a tiny bit of a hang of what is going on here.
Well, I think the 1.5 hour race we have ahead of ourselves will give you a lot of knowledge about ACC, and we hope to see that.
Yeah, I also hope to get a wheel soon so that I can start playing the game myself and gain some experience, and not just sort of bookish knowledge and certain ways, if I say so.
Well, StarMax, do you have any thoughts on what has happened during the quali session right now?
I mean, it's quite clear who is the dominant person here, who is the Vlish. I have seen a few ACC streams before. I have seen Masuno also near the top of the table. I don't think he seems to be racing today.
Well, yes,
So,
that's the Masum is unfortunately away on personal matters. We won't get to see. I mean, I won't get to see one of my favorite drivers in the ACC league here. I was also expecting to see Amit and a few drivers who I consider some of my personal favorites, but yeah.
Most of all, it's even more disappointing to not have Masoom because I think he was challenging for the championship, going head to head against Davlish and Amit. And we don't have two of those drivers being Masoom and Amit, but Davlish is still here and he seems to be very much on the pace as he sets a new fastest lap of a 2:0.3. Man has crazy pace.
The guy, Davlish just moved 0.15 seconds, 0.015 seconds ahead of his fastest lap. Not much of an improvement, but he's just pushing the gap between himself and the rest of the grid. Setting those standards high, pretty high for the guys. So
Well, don't forget.
yeah, Panda's still trying to pull off an upset here.
he's on a good lap.
Yes.
Gained time in the first sector.
Sorry about that. Yes, there we go. And doesn't improve on his lap. I think
No,
he did.
yeah.
Yep, he actually went slower than his last lap. He did a 2
His
points.
his first sector was good, but the last two sectors weren't as good.
Yes, unfortunately, he does not improve on his previous lap. Let's quickly jump on board. Who else is coming close? Let's jump on board Raja. Yes, he seems to be closing in on the start-finish line. There he comes across and he goes into the grass. Was probably a little too eager on the throttle there. We'll be looking to go into the pits as soon as possible because I don't think he's going to be able to set another lap. I think this is it for Raja because there's barely 2 minutes left. And
If he keeps going, then he might be able to set a lap. Actually, maybe not even be able to set a lap. Yeah, he won't be able to set a lap because a 158 seems impossible, and it is impossible at this track.
Yeah, I mean,
So
he started his next lap, but then, tire wear and all of that, all of those things. Yes, he's going really slowly. I don't think he's even. I don't think he's even planning to set a lap here. Yep.
Yeah, he didn't get much good of a run up either. Oh yeah, and he goes off again. Yeah.
He's done. I think he's done. Yes, he is done. I don't think he'd bother going out again.
one driver we haven't seen setting a lap is Kapil Ace, and I don't know what seems to be the problem there, but yes, he is a very fast driver, and as we see, he's on a lap right now. So let's go on board Kapil Ace and see what he's able to pull off.
Yes, we are on board Kapil as he makes it through the spoon section. Oof. And I think he might have gone a meter away from that apex there. Couldn't properly see from this camera angle, so let's shift to this one maybe, or this one. I love this camera angle.
Definitely.
Good credits to
Nice camera angle.
Credits to ACC TV for providing us this, this tool to help make our streams much more seamless. By providing us so many options.
Talking about seamless, that wasn't seamless from Kapil Ace, and he has botched his lap. And let's see if he goes on another one. Yes, he is.
He does have time to recover. Oh, I think we might have missed out something. Panda has narrowed down the gap to just 0.2 tenths. Oh, okay. I mean, I was on board Panda for a second, but then we hadn't seen Kapil set a lap, so I quickly, man, I'm sorry, so sorry Panda, we might have for missing that bit of action there.
But yeah, just goes to show that how a few laps can change how well you can drive a track, and I think the situation in the race is going to be different. The drivers will be under different kinds of pressure, and yeah, they'll be performing at very much different levels in the race. And as we see Kapil Ace making his way around the Lesmos.
Oh man, Davlish is just pushing further and further. What is this guy made of?
I think he's made of carbon fiber.
Or I don't know, probably a whole 2-liter tank of nitrous. This guy
Yes,
just keeps
basically.
going faster and faster. I mean, he's breaking expectations and oh my god.
And especially it's even crazier to see because it's being set on a fast track, but as we see Panda setting fastest second sector, so I don't know if that's from his previous lap or from this lap, but he's approaching the line and let's see what he can do.
He's closing in. There's a few hundred meters to go and he's crossed the start finish line. Oh, look at that gap. Oh, his
He would be
palms
kicking
must be
himself.
feeling so sweaty and his heart rate must have been must have been going through the roof there. Oh,
And he
my
must be
God.
pretty disappointed right now
Yes.
because seeing how much he's narrowed down the gap, it must be pretty disappointing for Panda to just be 600s away from Davlish and pushing the limit so much. He set the fastest third sector. And he could have even gone faster in his second sector because that's a yellow sector as we can see on the stream.
Yes, and that I think that brings the quali session to an end. Probably it's just Kapil who's, yep, he's also finished. Yes, that brings a close to the.
He's just taking a break.
Yep. Okay. Oh, that was quite fast. Okay. Just hold on. Give me just a second there, boys.
I think the real fight is going to be for first or third. I think for first it's going to be either Davlish and Panda. Then for third is people around Tanish.
I think
What do you think,
Tanish could
Slaya?
also get into the fight for first place if he gets lucky and if he plays his cards right. But let's see. Long ways
Yeah.
to go ahead of us. Many penalties could come in the way of these drivers and many crashes, incidents. We hope to not see a lot of crashes because that would be better for the drivers. But let's see if this race will be as interesting as we anticipate.
So on P1 we have Davlish. Let's quickly jump on board his cockpit, or yeah, let's go to chase cam. Yes. Oh wait. Chase cam. There we go. So that's his Monster Energy-ish livery of Davlish thing. in his Lamborghini, followed by Worship the Panda on his beautiful, beautiful Porsche. Oh my God, words cannot express how much I love that livery of his. Followed by
Great livery.
Tanish. Tanish, where is Tanish? I don't see Tanish. Okay,
Tanish is
let's
behind
just stick to
Tavish.
Helicam. So Tanish in his blue McLaren, and Piyush Gandhi in his. Is that the AM class?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for that. Now I'll remember that for the rest of my life. Followed by Helium in P5, 8 in P6. He should rename himself P6. Sorry for the dad joke there, but it just comes. Followed by P7, Raja in P7. Teg is 1 in P8, Electrip in P9, Supreme Leader Aldin in P10, and his racing number is appropriately named 420, followed by Kake in P11, Kapil in P12, Faizan 5.1, Zan in 13, and a surprise entrance from Deepak Raj in P14, who didn't set a quali lap at all and just directly jumped into the race on his Nissan GTR.
I was surprised to see a grid spot missing, and then I noticed that Deepak Raj has also joined the lobby, and we are going for our formation lap right now as we see Davlish getting off.
So Davli, the formation lap has started, and
Dan,
yes,
am I seeing it correctly? The track is wet,
yes,
and
it
we
is
are
wet.
expecting rain in 30 minutes time.
Yes, I was going to ask you guys if what I'm seeing was true or not, but yes, thank you for confirming it yourself, Slaya. The track is wet, and these drivers are gonna have a hell of a time. And is collision on during formation laps?
Yes, it is, and the drivers behind Davlish and following the whole sequence have to be really careful to not collide with each other.
Oh.
And that would be pretty gutting for them if they touch.
Oh yes, because I straight away asked that question because Panda got mighty close to Davlish there for just a second. Narrowly managed to avoid a collision.
But
And
Deepak Raj not getting off the line, and he is in the pits for
he's in
some
the
reason.
pits.
Okay,
Okay.
there seems to be some issue with Deepak Raj.
So
I don't know what it is, but
does
yes.
this mean that he will be starting from the pit lane?
He will have to wait for a while to start the race because he can't just start right now. If you return to garage in ACC, then you have to wait for a set period of time depending on the damage you have. But he was on the line, so he wouldn't have any damage. So I think he'll have to wait for 2 minutes and then he can get off the line. So that would put him at a big disadvantage.
His race was over even before it started. That was so unlucky for.
Well, let's not count him off because we have a 1.5 hour race ahead of us, and a lot of penalties can come ahead of Deepak Raj to help him in his endeavor to win the AM class championship because he is barely in the fight with Kake.
Oh, I didn't know that fact. Let me quickly bring up the ACC leaderboard championship table. Sorry. Before we go there, will the start be a standing start or will it be a running start?
Rolling start.
A rolling start. Sorry, a rolling start. Yeah, my bad. So it will be a rolling start. It's almost like a safety car restart then.
Basically,
you're doing an entire lap of the circuit before the race is started. That is F1 vibes there.
Yes, definitely have to agree with you, but let's see what these drivers can do at the start and who gets the best launch out of them all. And Davli is slowing down very aggressively. That was close.
Oh, the drivers are getting really close to each other, getting
They'll
really
have to-
jumpy even before the race is starting.
They'll have to because they have to shift into a double file before the race starts. Right now, the drivers are forced to go in a single file, but yes, as we see Piyush Gandhi pulling
Oh,
out just to
I
form a
don't-
double file.
I don't think collision is on in the formation lab. I just saw one of the guys just going through one of the cars. I
Okay,
think
then
there
that
was-
must be that must be a wrong statistic from my side, but yes, the collision seems to be off, and they're just approaching the chicane right now, and we'll be lights out,
Oh.
if you want to call it that, very soon.
Well,
A lot of
it's-
confusion going on.
Well, it's lights out to me as far as I know. Tavish is slowing down the pack as much as he can. He's waiting for that movement to when he can make the jump on the rest of the grid.
No. There is no jump here.
There's no
They
jump?
have to maintain a safe distance in a specific zone, and they cannot exceed that or be behind that. So they have to stay in a zone. And as soon as Davlish crosses the line, it's go. It's lights green.
Okay, so well we do see 5 red lights over here, so I guess
Yes,
it's probably like F1
now
and
the
the
lights
lights
will go green.
out, and we are ready to go. And so Davlish and Panda still keep their positions. I don't see any position switches here. Oh, they are going side by side, and Panda is pushed wide, really wide, and has to brake a little bit to avoid contact with Davlish.
And there has been an incident. I think there has been an incident involving
yes.
Kapil Ace and Supreme Leader Admiral Aladin.
Aldin, and I don't think there's been any incident. I don't see any damage or anything, but I do see those markers there next to him.
And during the formation lap, Deepak Raj also got rid of his 2 minutes which he had to wait for, and he has also come out behind the pack, and he is racing.
Well, he is
and,
quite the distance behind the guys in front of him.
I mistook Deepak's livery as damage. There was a black line. I was like, his hood is open.
Oh, he's going to be behind you for that comment you made there, Slayer. So right now the grid order has not changed much. Yeah, but it's the same order on the most part. It's the same order that we started with. All the drivers have kept their positions, and Kake and
yes.
Someone is fighting. Oh, someone has lost position. I think that's Teg is one.
There has been a huge incident at the
look at
hairpin involving 3 cars. One of them seems to be Kapil Ace. And I think Deepak Raj can gain a lot out of this, and he does overtake Kapil Ace.
Well, Deepak Raj might not have gained a lot, maybe from his perspective. Yeah, so considering that he had a bad start, he has gained a position. Yeah, so he was
pretty far behind the pack, so I think just to be in that fight now is a pretty big thing for him.
Definitely, we have to agree with you on that one, Slayer. So Deepak has had some sort of redemption here. Oh, we might have missed something. The cars are flying through 130R, and look at that. So many of them going wide. So wide over there. Oh my God. Well,
they're playing a risky game right here by going wide there. Might just result in a warning for them, which could prove to be deadly in the long term.
Well, fresh F1 drivers. Oh, there's been a position change over here. I think Helium. 2 drivers are going side by side here.
Piyush Gandhi and Helium both in the Aston Martins, and Helium I think safely ahead.
Someone is going.
Tanish goes off.
Gone really wide there.
Tanish goes off, and Helium almost does a power slide. I think it's a damp track, and I think they are on wet tires, so they'll be have to making a stop pretty soon actually.
Yes, there we go. I might have failed. Okay, guys are taking it. Is this how normally the drivers take it through these S sections?
I think it's becoming more difficult to follow for the drivers because it's a greasy track now. Just went from damp to greasy now, so we can see the track drying up rapidly. But the dirty air does affect in this S section, and and as we see Faizan going for a move on Aladin. That is a great move from Faizan right there. Difficult spot to overtake, but he got it done. But Aladin coming back at him.
Move's still not been made though, because they are still going side by side. Oh, and Faizan just takes it into the grass. Some bit of grass cutting going on there, but he has lost.
I think that was just the commentator's curse, because I was just applauding him for his move, and he drops back 2 positions now.
Well, he could have made it stick, because I think it was Aldin he was fighting with. Yeah, he gave him a bit of room, but then Faizan might have lost a little bit of braking, and
he might have felt under pressure, and maybe he just lost it there. And Deepak Raj, Faizan.
Oh no, that Porsche has been trashed. Absolutely trashed.
Basically out of the race. And Faizan tries to continue on, but Raj, I think he'll be returning to the garage as soon as he can.
Oh, it all started with a bit of contact with Deepak. Faizan and Deepak got a little too close to each other.
Faizan just horizontal on the track and reverses right into the path of Raja. I think Raja was trying to avoid him, but just chose the wrong direction.
There was nothing that Faizan possibly could have done, because it was just this car, taking full control of Faizan himself.
Double Singh sets the fastest lap. Okay, that's actually the first lap, so let's not count it as a fastest lap.
Yes. So
I'm
there's
surprised Faizan didn't see Deepak coming through there because I'm pretty sure people use car radar, right? You should have seen Deepak coming there. I'm not sure why he left no space for Deepak.
I think yeah, Faizan was going a bit too much to the left, and I think that's what resulted in the incident. And Deepak might also have some slight damage on his right side of the car, which would affect him in this S section quite a bit.
So I think the track is drying up a little bit. I mean, along the racing lines, it is a bit dry. I don't see those watery patches over there.
Yeah.
Less aquaplaning for the guys. That's good news for
It's a
them.
greasy track now. That means it's closer to the green stage, which is actually green as a dry track, almost like it's after the rain period. So a greasy track is pretty much suited for dry tires. I don't know if these guys are on wets or dries, but we do see 4 people in the pits, and I don't know who all they are. But maybe it's because of some incident, or maybe they're boxing for a different compound of tire. Let's see what it is.
Well, we know why Faizan and Raja are in the pits, but Kake and Electrib, that is quite a surprise. And I think Deepak was going a little slowly there. Okay.
I think Kake pitted for different tires and Electrip as well, because I didn't see Electrip getting involved in any incident.
Oh, we might have missed a little bit there. I think, there is some fight going on between Deepak and Kapil. Deepak is still managing to hold him off there.
I think the damage from Faizan really affecting Deepak right here and his pace as well. So let's see what Kapil Ace can do.
Well, Slaya, you were telling me a while ago that I got a little bit distracted over there. Deepak just went fully wide over there, and he doesn't look
Behind
to be
Kapil Ace now.
fighting shape.
Wait, they are going side by side. Will they make it into 130R? I think the Nissan has superior straight line speed than the Aston Martin. Let's see what happens now.
The
And
Nissan also
Kapil
has a
just
dry
slots
line.
behind. Yeah, Kapil just slots behind and just bides his time for now. Let's see. I think the move is inevitable right here, but let's see when it happens.
The question is, does Kapil have any damage from the incident he had before?
I suppose he does, but I think just Kapil Ace seems to be faster at the moment, but let's see what happens.
Because for the spoon section, Deepak looked really, really understeery. It's made very, very easy for Kapil
And
to go on the inside of him.
So we see two drivers pitting now. Tanish and Helium both have pitted. Helium is going into the pits.
They are pitting for dry tires at the moment because the track is now greasy, and as I said, it's suited for dry tires more than the wets. And we do see a short spell of rain coming in at 10 minutes from now, and that would maybe shake things up, and maybe it will play in the favor of the people who have stayed out on wets, like Davlish and Panda.
There's some close action going on here between Kapil and Deepak here. Deepak still fighting it out for that position. Deepak is still holding his own here. I don't know. I don't know for how long, because he is kind of. I mean, according to me, at least he's struggling to keep the car on track.
Deepak just went a bit wide at the exit of Lesmo 1. I don't know if that will be a warning for him, but I don't think it will. But if it is, then pretty unfortunate for him.
Kapil
And
tries to
Kapil
sneak
is
one up the inside and does not
superior
manage to
exit for Deepak. So clearly he will maintain his position right now.
Deepak probably took advantage of the slingshot effect of banking on that corner.
Yes,
So,
definitely, and he did. And Nissan usually likes to stay
Oh, there
a
we
gear
go.
higher. Oh, and Kapil makes the move. Will Deepak get him back though? Is the question. And he does seem to have a better exit than Kapil. Let's see what happens now. Slipstream and superior straight line speed going at 227 now, 230, 240. But I think he'll just have to slot in behind, and Kapil has the move done on Deepak now officially.
let's stick on board them for a little while. I don't think Deepak is gonna let this by. He will be looking to fight back for that position, but it's the spoon section where he's struggling really hard, because even in the last lap he went really wide there, and Kapil almost got back that position, but
And I think I see two Bentleys battling it out. I
Yes.
think that's Aladdin and Teg is one.
yes, that you are right. There was the two Bentley drivers there, fighting it out, like you said. The one in the black livery. Oh, look at that. The drivers have polar opposite
Oh.
liveries. Oh, they got pretty close there.
Yeah, I think they're racing with the same team, but it's just like a different livery for the team. Yeah.
One guy has a green livery with black rims. The other guy has black rims with green rims with black livery.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what kind of team they would call that.
Team battle.
they seem to be like
Oh, Aladdin goes wide and takes one, gets the job done.
There
Does
has
he?
been a bit of contact between them. I couldn't see.
Aladdin goes off, and Kapil Ace
Oh.
takes good advantage of that battle following Tegs one, because I think he knew that Aladdin was going to be suffering there. And as we were talking about Deepak before, why he's sliding through the spoon section is because of his car. The Nissan doesn't really like turning in, and it slides quite a bit, so I think that could be a reason why Deepak Raj lost his position.
I think Aladdin, once he went onto the gravel, he tried to come back onto the track quickly and tried to close the door on the other Bentley, but while doing so, he went off the track at the next corner, which Kapil managed to gain a position from that. So
Kapil just
good on
needs-
Kapil.
Kapil just needs a superior exit, and yes.
He did get that exit that you were talking about, Slaya, because he gained so much on the car ahead of him, which is Tegas one, and he looks to be slipping it down the
130
inside,
R.
and he does
Oh.
make it. Oh, Tegas
At
one just
130 R,
decided
that
to
was
be
risky.
Tegas one decided that the risk was not worth the reward, and he just backs out of that.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kapil's heart has skipped a beat.
Definitely it has, because at making a move at 130R, especially in a GT3 car, which doesn't have that strong of an aero compared to an F1 car or something like that, it's pretty risky.
One of the drivers
Alonso
just,
Schumacher vibes.
one of the drivers just, I think Helium just left the session. I don't see him anymore on the grid. I saw him in the pits just a few seconds ago, and now he's gone completely. So
I think he's disconnected from the race. That's unfortunate for Helium. Maybe he had something come up or some internet issues, but unfortunate for him.
Meanwhile, let's take a look at Davlish, who's just sailing away with that 4.5-5 second lead. And he seems to be having a pretty boring race at this point.
I think he's happy to have a boring race and win the championship than having an interesting race and crashing out and risking the championship. So
I don't think anyone with a racing spirit would want to get it that easily. He would not just a racing spirit, a warrior spirit. Come on.
I think for Davlish it's even more risky to let Panda close that gap, because in the past few rounds Davlish has had problems with his internet
Okay,
and
we
his
see
pedals.
Bentley just narrowly avoiding
That's
that.
Aladdin.
Yes, that was Aladdin. Oh man, he seems to love cutting the grass and that corner. I don't know what the name of that corner is. Let me just quickly
And
look that up.
Faizan coming for the move, but Aladdin covers it off quickly. And I think that lawn mowing is because of some damage on the diffuser, if we can see that.
We can see it from here. Here.
Yes. As we can see that there is some damage on the diffuser. Yes, I think there is some damage, but I think he got rear-ended by someone or something like that. But yeah, that's hindering his pace definitely.
Well, I don't think Aldin is actually racing Faizan, because Faizan is a lap down. Oh, but Faizan doesn't seem to give a damn
Yes,
about that.
yes.
Give a damn.
Oh, is it at 130R? Will Aladdin survive it? Yes, he does
Yes,
go
he
wide
does.
and survives it, because it would
That
have been a shocker for Aladdin if we had collided there. But yes, he
Yes,
That
does
was
make it
rather
past.
overambitious by Faizan to stick that at that speed.
Oh, couple
And
ace set
Kapil Ace.
fast slap.
Yo,
That is quite the surprise.
topsy-turvy race we're having right now.
I think a late surge from Kapil is quite possible, maybe near the dying stages of the race. So Davlish might have to keep an eye on it for him.
And as we see a heavy rain spell coming for 20 odd minutes in this race, and yeah, just 10 minutes out from that heavy rain period. Let's see when it comes out. Does it come out earlier? Does it come out later? We'll get to know shortly.
That's what Jeff always says, but the rain never comes.
But I think ACC has pretty accurate weather, unlike Jeff.
Definitely more accurate than Jeff.
I think Jeff is basically lying to you half of the time.
Yes, fully.
Well, Jeff has had his moments, and of course, he's also, both good and bad ones. What
Electric
is
with the
going on
fastest
here?
lap. What?
I don't think Davlish cares about that at this point. Oh, and we see that McLaren just sailing past itself.
I think
One
there is a
important
difference.
point.
Okay, go on.
I'm pretty sure Electric pitted for slicks, so I think
Yes.
that's his tires trying coming back to life.
Yes, definitely. I think the track is green now. Yes, because when I said the track was greasy, it was suited for dries, but now it's even better suited for dries. But we do see rain coming in. But Electric got the fastest lap in, and I don't think Davlish Panda and Piyush Gandhi AXL they have pitted for these slick tires.
Well, I think from this point, this angle, you guys can probably identify which compound the. Can you identify which
Difficult to
compound the
see
drivers are
on this car because the wheel is completely covered off. If you go on and if they're turning in, then we might be able to see.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, just go to the
Are
same
you-
camera and yeah.
Are you
We
looking
might
out
be-
for the grooves of the car? Grooves
Yes.
of the.
Oh, I think
Ah.
somebody
someone
just
going
went
off.
off. That
That's
was a McLaren. That
Tanish.
was a, yes, that
That's
is
Tanish.
Tanish. Yep, that is
Oh.
Tanish, and yes, he's got into the
Oh,
pits.
he returned the pits. He was
Yep.
using critical damage, I'm presuming.
And yes, we have gotten all these sick camera angles thanks to ACC TV and all of this HUD you're seeing on the stream as well thanks to ACC TV. And yeah, I think the stream looks great with all of this HUD.
Well, we were unfortunately two three races late. We had acquired the licensing for for using the software for our streams, but due to technical glitches on our end, we weren't able to use it.
Oh,
And
the
now
rain is
the
here.
rain is rain. Yeah,
Come, rain, come. We
I,
want an interesting race. Come.
so the guys who are on slicks right now would probably be suffering, and the guys who are on who didn't bother to
Why must
switch.
we always suffer?
The tires in ACC can go for a long while, and I think it's just showing here Davlish and all these guys not losing any pace. And I think now they'll gain pace because the track has gone to greasy from green now, and it will soon go to damp and then to wet. And we see a rain spell of about 20 odd minutes, and then it's dry again. So, very interesting weather for this race, and yeah, it seems very interesting to watch it.
We have almost an hour of racing left to go, and I think Faizan has had another incident. No, he hasn't. I don't know why his name is flashing yellow, and things.
Might have been going slowly because of damage.
There's someone behind him,
Oh,
getting awfully
I think
close.
he unlapped himself, but Aladdin is coming back at him.
Yes, seems to be the case. And yeah, blue flags are being waved by the marshals, and that is for Faizan and for Aladdin.
But in ACC, they're not required to move
Yes.
away, but just have a predictable line right.
Definitely. If the driver behind you is a lap car and if they are faster than you, then you are obliged by racing etiquette standards to let them go. But it's nowhere in the rules that the car ahead, if they're getting lapped, they have to let you go if they're faster. And Aladdin
Oh,
goes
Aladdin
deep.
missed.
These-
Faizan also goes wide.
Is Aladdin one of the people who pitted for slicks or is he still on wets?
Faizan goes back into the pits, I think for wet tires now. And yes,
He does go into the pits, and Aladdin chooses to stay on the track. He does look to be having a lot of damage. I can see so
Yes.
many scratches on that bonnet of his.
yes, definitely. Definitely, that was my thesis of why Aladdin was going wide at Lesmos and cutting grass at basically every available opportunity. But yeah, that seems to be the case, and I think he'll be pitting soon, unless he's already on wets. Then he might try to brave the storm.
There we see Electrip again going into the pits. This is probably the fourth time he's going to change tires, or I don't know what. going
Yeah, he was
inside.
on slicks, so he's going back to the pits for wets.
And in this condition, we can see the expertise of Davlish and Panda coming because they could have also gone into the pits, but they chose not to and they chose against it. And now Electrip and Kake and the likes of all these people have pitted twice, and meanwhile, the guys ahead haven't even pitted once. So I think they'll be pretty close to getting lapped, or at least close to getting lapped.
So the gaps between the drivers are increasing with every passing lap.
Just as we see.
Probably just lap cars getting close to the other, the faster ones.
and we see Davlish lapping Electrip. So Davlish has basically lapped everyone till P9. That's actually crazy.
Well, most the guys from P9 to P12 have pitted multiple times. So
Yes,
that
that
is
is
one of
true.
the reasons. Where can we see him up? I don't think Electrip is still on the track.
He's still in the pits. He's coming out now.
Was 8 I think the 8 was. Oh, there we go. Excuse me.
And I think 8 has gone under the radar in this race, but he's doing actually pretty well. He's in P4 and he does a drift. And that's again the commentator's curse just playing
that
out.
was actually,
I won't say anything good about anyone now.
I don't I don't think it is just a commentator's curse. Here in ACC we have something called a streamer's curse as well, because it had quite the effect in the Donington Park race.
Even at France.
Yes, I think even you were affected by
Yes,
the
that
streamer's
was
curse.
me. That was me who got a drive-through because the streamer went on to me and I got a drive-through at that very moment and I was so annoyed with myself. But I'm very thankful that I'm not racing today. Just looking at how the track is changing every 10-15 minutes, I'm very thankful that I'm commentating here with you guys and not racing out there with those guys. But hats off to them for managing their car and themselves in these conditions, because it must be really treacherous for them.
Oh yes, I mean, I really don't know how the tires work. I mean, I just heard hearsay that even the dry tires can drive sort of well on a wet track, and where we see a Ferrari. I don't know whose Ferrari that was.
Electric, that seems to be Electric.
I am really not able to remember any of the drivers, the cars.
Yeah, that's number 90, that's Electric, definitely.
Eitzel probably has to go to the pits to change tires now. He does not seem to be having any grip whatsoever.
If they can brave it out like this for another 20-25 minutes, but I think it's going to rain, and then there's a plus icon on the top, which means it's going to be even heavier than heavy rain. So basically a storm brewing at Japan right now, and it's going to be interesting to see what the drivers can do in these conditions.
Oh, look at that.
Getting pretty slidey around there, Electric, showing his drift skills to us, which I don't think will help him at all in this race, but yeah.
Well, Starmax Lord, seeing you've been in this race with us for nearly half an hour, what are your thoughts on the action that has transpired so far?
I mean, it is quite crazy. Well, both the Village and Panda have stayed the same position-wise. Things in the midfield is quite shaky. Like, for example, Kapil is doing quite well. He started near
They
last.
almost had a collision there.
Almost big collision there, which would have affected Faizan as well behind them. So it's insane in this race.
While Faizan is having an absolutely shockingly bad race. Like, I think he is quite off pace and he has had a lot of incidents. So I don't think he's going to enjoy this day a lot. Then,
Well, guys.
yeah, I guess we just have to see if the top two runners make any mistakes. Then we
Alright.
might.
I think that we should stop talking about the drivers, because the commentator's curse and streamer's curse has played out multiple times already in this 24 minutes of racing that we have till now. So, what are your thoughts on the new F1 cars coming out? Though this is an ACC race, but yes, I would like to hear your thoughts on that.
Motorsport is motorsport. Car is car.
Okay.
I mean, it is very cool. I think I've seen an Instagram post by Aston Martin about their car actually running,
Yes.
leaving the pits. And it reminded me a lot about the 2008 cars. 2007, 2008, where the cars had wheel covers, the wing looks quite similar, the actual shape of the car also looks quite similar. So yeah, giving me nostalgic vibes.
Well, I wasn't following F1 at that point of time, but I can say it is definitely sort of a change for the good, a change for the better. And in the coming few years, and then probably the next 3 years or so, F1 will be looking to shift to cleaner fuel. So for the sake of the environment and all that. I mean, either way, otherwise also, it is the season is looking quite promising. Cars have smaller wheelbases, and they are much slower, of course, with the removal of all that the bars boards and all the hodgepodge on
Extra
the
aero
side.
elements.
Yeah,
Well,
this
talking
is a
about
clean slate
2000,
for all the.
go on, go on,
This is a
Starmax.
clean slate for all the teams, so that they can redeem themselves for like teams like Williams, Haas. They've been at the back of the field for quite a few years, and this is their best chance to redeem themselves. While I don't think I am confident that Haas might not be a top running team, I'm so confident that I've actually placed a bet.
And
So yeah,
Piyush Gandhi not. I think we just saw a yellow flasher coming next to his name, and I think he has lost some time to Panda, but he's still running in a stable P3. And yeah, of this topic, I think as Starmax said that this is reminiscing of the 2007 and 8 cars, and well, let alone me not following motorsport at the time. I was barely born at the time, so I would have no recollection of those moments of F1. And yeah, but these cars do seem really cool. So interesting to see what the teams can pull off with it.
I just hope that Ferrari managed to, make a move to come back to the top step. I'm really hoping they do something to regain that legacy that they've built up during the Michael Schumacher and not even the Michael Schumacher, the Kimi Raikkonen era that year when they won their last world championship. So I hope either Carlos Sainz or Charles Leclerc can come back on the top step.
I saw this post or something where like the naming of the car starts with F1, and during the year 2000, which is the year that Ferrari domination started, which also had the name of the car started with F1, and people were making like, oh, people thinking, was this the start of the new domination? I mean, it's nice to see these people being optimistic.
And as we see Deepak Raj's Godzilla coming through the spoon curve right now, I think he's taken that relatively well compared to what horror show we saw before while he was battling with Kapiles.
Well, I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call it a horror show. I mean, he probably did have a bit of damage. Yeah, but he's dealing with it quite well, considering how much time has passed, and he might have gotten a little. He might have gotten that time to practice to do a few laps in that condition, condition in which the car is in right now. Oh, I
And
think that
now
was a
we have,
little bit. Sorry to cut you off there, Slaya.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely go on.
I think that I saw a little bit of a drift there, probably because of the aquaplaning. I think I saw him going through a patch of water, puddle of
I
water.
think you've got it all wrong because I think it's more because of his JDM culture.
Um, I
Yes,
don't know what
not
JDM
there is
culture
no
is.
there is no aquaplaning. He's driving a Nissan from Japan, but drifting is more famous, and I think he's just showing it off.
Okay.
But well, we have lost Starmax lot, but Rohit Shastri joins us for comms now, and Rohit, welcome.
Rohit, are you there?
I think
I,
his mic isn't functioning well.
yeah, let's give him a little bit of time to settle
Yes.
in. Meanwhile, let's move on board another driver. Um, Supreme Leader Aldin, Supreme Leader Admiral General Commander, whatever. The references all over there from the movie The
Vadia
Dictator. Taking his Bentley all the way from Vadia, like you said,
to Japan.
to Japan. Well,
Aladdin hasn't really been active this season, but when he has shown glimpses. Okay, I didn't have to
I
say
am
that, and
switching. I think I should
don't
just
just
stop
don't just
streaming.
don't man, just don't man. Just
Yeah.
it's absolutely ruining the drivers' races. Just as I was about to say, he's shown glimpses of promise whenever he shows up for the races, and yeah, that was that. Yeah, so yes,
Hope you
like
can hear me now.
yes, you are audible.
Yes,
Welcome to the
Rohit,
stream, man.
welcome.
Welcome to the
I
comms
hope
box.
I hope you're
Hello,
doing
hello,
well.
thank you. I'm fine, thanks.
So have
Just
you?
going over. Okay, go on, Dan.
Yeah, have you? Did you watch the last the events in the last few minutes or the last few minutes?
I just joined right now. I had some issues, I was fixing it.
Mm.
All right, cool.
Well, you missed
But
it.
we were just going over Aladdin's crash right now, just as I was complimenting him for his good performances. But oh well, he has hood damage, bumper damage, you name it, and he has it, and he's gonna be boxing right now for damage repairs and maybe even flesh rubber. Let's see.
I think Aldin has gone into the pits right now. Yep. Uh, he's gone into damage control
He's not
mode.
changing his tires. He's just pitting for repairs.
That is going to cost him a few minutes of race time.
Yeah, possibly a few minutes. I think he'll lose out at least 40 seconds considering the scale of that crash in the pits, and of course the pit transit time as well. We have to account for that.
So Kapil was in. Kapil started in P12 or P11 if I'm not wrong, and now he's jumped all the way up to P7. And the biggest winner here, according to me at least, is Deepak Raj, who started at rock bottom at P15 and has gone to P6. He's made up 9 positions. I mean, I wasn't even expecting him to, make it to. Wait, I think someone else has gone offline.
Yes, there are 11 people now in the race. The numbers just keep dropping. I think people are getting fed up of this wet track now. So, yeah, there are 11 people in the race. But Deepak Raj being one of the biggest gainers in this race, as you rightly pointed out, Dan, he's gained 8 places, and yeah, crazy. And I wish him all the best, and please don't spin out. That's it.
yeah, like you said, I'd better shift to another driver before I give him the curse. So let's jump on board. Teg is one who seems to be having a sort of a fairly boring race, if you ask me.
I think most of the drivers are having a boring race.
That is true, Slaya. Definitely, because I don't see, I mean, in the track map I can see a few drivers. I mean, all the drivers are at least 20, 30 meters away from each other. And I think Davlish has had an incident that I see.
Yes, there is a yellow flag there for Davlish.
Davlish did have an incident. He went off track, and that is well, let's take a look at Panda.
Panda.
Yes, he's managed to close down that gap to
Caught up
3
massively.
seconds. 4 seconds.
This is going to boil down to the end.
8 still into the pits, and Deepak Raj and Teg is one have gained a lot of one position from that. But I think the race will become less boring for Deepak and Teg is one, because I think Deepak is catching up to Teg is one, and he might go for the move in a few coming laps. So Dan, can we go on board Deepak, maybe?
Just a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So Rohit, what are your thoughts on the current running order?
Yeah, pretty good. Dhavilesh is obviously very strong. Did not expect Deepak. He is just skyrocketed through the whole grid there. That's really unexpected. Hope he keeps this attitude and finishes it and does not spin off with the wet track.
Yeah, definitely. Deepak Raj being a big gainer in this race, and I hope it stays that way for him and he doesn't spin out because of commentator's curse. I don't want to give anyone a curse, and I hope it stays that way.
Yes. And that incident with someone is off.
Electrip is off, and he's going really slowly. I don't know if there's some damage with his pedals or his car. I don't know what the issue is. And Deepak Raj laps Electrip. Okay. So that was a very unexpected sight to see, that Deepak Raj is lapping someone in this race. Let alone a driver like Electrip, who's just 3 places down on him.
And Capiles also spins it.
Kapil is still with the fastest lap of the race, which he had set on a dry-ish track. But yes, he's still going strong, and let's see what he can pull off. Just tapping the curb and then taking the exit very well at Spoon, and trying to go as close as to the apex as he can, and taking a comfortable exit there, and heading his focus onto 130R, with really treacherous corner in any car basically, not just the GT3.
And the way they are approaching these corners are, different from how when it was dry. So they have to be on their A game. A simple mistake can cause them to get out of this race.
Especially in conditions like these where it's going wet, dry. It's even more confusing and dangerous for the drivers to go for ambitious overtakes or push every lap, because I think they'll just have to chill off and just watch it unfold. That's it.
Definitely, their mindset going from aggressive. Oh, yeah. So their mindset going from aggressive to keep the tires, in the proper state and make sure you're on track, not spin off. That keeps oscillating in these wet conditions. You just gotta get used to it.
Yes, definitely. It has been about 35, 36 minutes since we started the race, and the drivers must have gotten used to these topsy-turvy conditions, and I think all of them are going strong except for the few who have disconnected.
Yeah. I see Raja has pitted.
Well, you shouldn't be surprised, Rohit, if you have been watching the race from the beginning, because I've lost count of how many times Raja has pitted in this race. And
Oh,
speaking
yeah.
of which, we are now down to just 10 drivers. We think two more drivers retired in the last
Well,
5 minutes itself.
I think the main focus for these drivers should be just to be able to finish the race. That's it at this point, because most of the drivers, actually not most, 4 drivers have disconnected from this race, and it's basically guaranteed points and good points for everyone in this finale. And just interesting to see who will take the championship. I think it's going to be Davlish, but yeah. So Dan, can you pull out your standings and just see how far Davlish and Masoom are from each other?
Yes, give me just a minute. I will check it out.
And even the amateur championship heating up right now, because and even the silver championship heating up, because we see 8 Sil and Kapil Ace just 9 seconds apart from each other, which is not a lot considering we have to account for incidents as well, and these two are going head to head for the silver class championship.
Well, in the overall standings, Davlish is behind Masoom, but seeing that Masoom is not driving this event, if Davlish manages to keep things the way they are going right now, he will take the championship. Panda is quite the distance off, so I mean, I don't know how the point system for points rewarded for an endurance race is, but
Let me just go over that, Dan.
Yeah.
The point system for the endurance race, and yeah, the point system for the endurance race is the winner finishes off with 115 points.
Whoa.
Second place gets 100, third place gets 90, then fourth gets 80, fifth 76, sixth 69, and seventh 62, eighth 55, and ninth 50, and 10th 45. We'll just stop it there because it's a long list and we just have 10 drivers, so no point in going over the rest of the places.
Well,
But yes,
yeah. So the trophy is still there for the taking for Worship the Panda, if what you're saying is
Yes.
true. I mean, if my math works out, because the gap between Panda and Davlish is almost 50 points. And you said what does the driver who finishes in P2 get? I think he gets 100.
P2 gets 100 and
then-
P1 gets 115. But
then-
definitely the championship may open up for Panda if Davlish has bad luck like he's been having in the past couple of races. Like he's been disconnecting or having pedal problems, something or the other popping up for Davlish. But I hope he has a safe race and gets through to the end with a nice battle, because we see Panda just 5 seconds behind. I think he's dropped back since that Davlish incident when he went off track. But yeah, still going to be close at the end of the race.
Well, rightly pointed out there, Slaya. I forgot to I forgot to consider that factor of Davlish not even finishing the race. But yes, like you said, I really hope that nothing of that sort happens, and we get to see a proper fight right till the very end, and not some thing where
Mickey Mouse
one of the
fight.
drivers gets an easy victory because the
Mickey
other
Mouse
one fell
fight.
out. Yeah, Mickey Mouse fight.
Well, right
in
now
Gen Z
the
terms.
main battle which is heating up is for the silver class championship, because Kapil Ace and 8 who are in 1 and 2, not respectively, because 8 is right now in P1 and Kapil Ace is in P2, and they're just separated by 13 points. That slim of a margin. So anything can happen, and either of these drivers can take the championship, because the guy in P3, who is Tegis1, is in is 100 points behind Kapil Ace. So these guys are just in a league of their own.
So, in that case, who you said Kapil is in P1?
Kapil is in P2 and 8 is in P1. They're separated by 13 points.
Okay, but yeah, if realistically, also if both Eitzel and Kapil fail to finish, Tegis1 cannot get
No.
the championship because he won't be anywhere close enough to.
Tegis1 can only get the championship if Kapil and 8 both disconnect from this race right now.
And if
And
you know,
if
if he wins
wins
the race,
And
yeah.
if he wins the race,
So that-
exactly. Big subjective mark at the end of this.
A big question mark, subjective mark, indeed.
And let me check the amateur championship as well, because I think the gap over there is quite larger. But it's not actually that large. It's just 41 points separating Deepak, Raj and Kake. Kake being in first and Deepak being in second. But right now it's the other way around. Deepak is ahead of Kake, and Deepak might be able to clinch the championship.
So I think something has gone awry here. I think Kapil, who was 4 seconds behind Eitzel, has narrowed down that gap to 2 seconds.
Yes, he
Justin
has.
is a fan of that one corner. Not sure what happened.
Might have done a power slide, or maybe had gone wide, something like that. But
Yeah,
he is gaining slowly, not slowly, he's gaining quickly. And it's going to be interesting to see what Kapil Ace can do.
Eitzel probably had some sort of incident there because he's lost even more time to Kapil. And
But now again we see a dry patch showing up, and these drivers being really smart to stay on the wet line just to keep their tires alive, and not going onto the dry line which has formed over time.
I'm not really sure what is going on through Eitzel's mind. He's all over the place right now. He's probably having, he's either having issues on technical issues on his end, or his car probably received some sort of damage, which I might have failed to notice.
Yeah, he is going pretty slowly, and he's going wide every other corner. So I think he definitely does have damage, because a driver of the caliber of 8 cylinders would not be doing such mistakes.
Definitely, I have to agree with you on that one. And Kapil seems
It's
to have
exposed down the
dived
inside.
down the inside. We cannot see it from this angle. There we go. Kapil is,
And-
and they are both going side by side through that hairpin. Where is the camera angle? And Kapil has made that move stick. What
Well,
does
we
this
missed
mean for
it.
the championship?
Let me give it a quick check, because even I'm not sure by how close this championship is. Let me just give it a quick look. And so can you just tell me which positions these drivers are
Kapil is
respectively?
in P6 and Eitzel is in P7.
I think 8 will still clinch the championship. Yes, there is only a 7-point gap between P6 and P7. So P6 getting 69 and P7 getting 62 points. But yes, by this standings, I think Kapil, the 8 will still clinch the championship.
Well, Eitzel just needs to ensure that he just finishes this race, because the driver behind him is more than a minute away from him. So,
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
And Kake is also a lapped car, so it even opens up the horizons for Deepak even more. If Raja and Kake get into a scuffle, and Raja maybe gets past Kake, then Deepak could very well be in a shout for the championship. I'll have to give it another look, because if Kake goes to P10, he'll be getting 45 points and Deepak will be getting 76. So Kake basically just has to finish the race, and Deepak has to maintain his P5 for Kake to win the championship, regardless of where he finishes.
Well, every drive, I am highly doubtful. I mean, I'm pretty sure that these guys are thinking about the championship right now. It's probably occupying most of their thought process. So much to lose in this one single race, so much to win as well. It all depends on secondary factors and not just on their own, their own caliber, their own, their the consistency. I'm not getting the right word here, but yes, the drivers must be feeling that, at least the drivers who are in for the championship fight, they must be feeling pretty tense right now.
And 8 still gaining about 4-5 tenths to that one corner, and I think Kapil made a mistake, and 8 still getting even closer. Okay, never mind, he's fallen back again. Some problem with his car definitely, because 8 still is not a slow driver by any means. He's one of the fastest, and he's proving that by being first in the championship right now. But yes, I think what's going to be worrying these drivers' mind more than the championship is going to be these conditions which we are seeing in this race.
These oscillatory dry and wet conditions definitely puts their mind into question.
Well,
Yes, definitely.
like you said, right now the track is damp for now, and the weather conditions look to stay dry. But after 30 minutes from now, the rain is going to start pouring down again.
This one is into the pits.
Tegis one has jumped into the pits.
This might be a big mistake or a big success for Tegis one, because the rain is coming back in a short while, and he's, I think, pitting for slicks maybe. Yeah, let's see if his pit crew is out. I think he's just pitting for damage,
Oh,
because I don't see any pit crew.
Okay, I am not sure what is going on here. You guys would know better than.
Yeah, because if he had gone in for a tire change, there would have been a pit crew standing there awaiting him and changing the tires with their wheel guns. But I don't see anything. I think he's just pitted for damage, because his car is just stationary and it's not even jacked up. So I think he's just pitted for damage.
So that is Tegis one. That's his championship hopes.
But
Going away. Davlish is also going into the pits now.
But this does open up the championship hopes for Deepak, because he's gained a position out of that, and I don't think Kake will be able to get ahead of Tegis one. Yeah, Electric swiftly closing down that gap, and Tegis one is out of the pits. And yes, Kake is still in P9. He's very far back actually, Kake, in this race. I think there's some blunder in the pit strategy, but let me just go over the points again. And Kake being in P9 right now, so this is a very interesting championship. We're gonna find out at the end of the race. And yes, so for P5 there are 76 points up for grabs, and for P9 there are 50 points up for grabs. So still Kake in a championship winning position, but everything could change in a matter of minutes.
I have to correct you there a bit. Deepak is in P4, not P5.
Yeah. Oh, then
Yeah,
What
I
does this
think
mean then?
then I think I might have mispronounced the position. Okay, so there are 83 points up for grabs for P4.
P4? Yes.
Yes. So that will still keep Kake in a championship winning spot, but not by a lot. If he makes any mistake, then it could put his championship in jeopardy.
So Kake just, Kake
He just needs to finish.
just has one driver left behind him, but even losing that one position would mean that the championship would slip out of his hands.
Electric
man.
into the pits. I think he's going for slick tires.
will the slicks work out?
Maybe or maybe not, because we do see heavy rain approaching the track in 30 minutes time. So the rain gods haven't been.
Oh, look at that.
We see
Oh,
Electric
well,
losing his car, and yes, the drivers
Oh,
behind
that's-
will have to be really cautious.
Wow, they surely have to have slowed
Yes.
down
His tires must be really
incredibly.
hot.
Electric is really struggling.
Kake moves up into P8 now. I think that's a safe position for Kake to be in, unless Electric can get him back somehow.
That was that electric incident has caused Kake to gain one position. And so that means that if things go the way they are right now, I mean there's still 40 minutes left to go, and oh my god,
Ooh, and Electric letting the driver
got
go.
a little
Okay.
too close. I think Electric's tires might be short right now, probably why he's going all over the place there.
But I don't see Raja anywhere. Can we go on board him if he's there also or not?
Yes, he is.
He's there. He's just having a lonely race.
Yeah,
Nothing else. I don't even know how far back he is because he's been involved in that incident with Faizan. And yes, Faizan being one of the drivers who has left the session.
Well, we five drivers have been claimed by. Oh, hold on a second. I think Davlish is going into the pits again.
Piyush Gandhi takes the lead of the race.
Oh,
What are we seeing here? I cannot believe my eyes.
Both the pro class drivers have got into the pits, and
And where
Davlish
is
is pitting
Deepak
for the
Raj?
second time.
Where is Deepak
Yeah.
Raj?
Deepak is in P4. I mean, he's still keeping.
No, no, no,
oh,
no.
I mean,
Where?
oh,
How
right,
far
of
back
course.
is he? How far back is he?
He's crossing
He's
the
just
start-finish
approaching the
line.
main street. He'll move into P3 now, I think.
No, no, no. It won't, yeah, it will be P3. Worship the Panda just managed to sneak out of the pits.
Yes,
Yes,
Deepak
there
Raj
he
in
is.
P3 now.
Deepak in P3.
Deepak Raj having an insane race, recovering from
P15.
P14 till P3. Man is on the
fire.
pace right now and on fire.
Oh, wow. And I think the track is drying up. I do see a bit of
Yes.
sunlight reflecting on off the surface of that asphalt.
But if it was up to me, I would recommend Deepak and all of the drivers who are still on wet tires to stay out and not go into the pits. It is very ambitious, but it can play out in their favor in the long term.
Oh.
And Deepak,
Oh.
I'm not gonna say anything, bro. I'm just shutting up, man.
No, you don't have to shut up. Let's just move on to another driver. I think that is best.
Kake and Deepak are in very good position for this race and will also pay out for the championship.
Okay, so Kak is still in P8, and after this insane race for 1 hour that we've had, I have to go and grab myself a glass of water. So Rohit, you've been pretty quiet. Now you can take over.
Well, Rohit might not have had a chance to speak because
I'll be back, guys.
probably Rohit. Is this the first time that you are commentating?
Yes, this is the first time on ACC I'm commentating. Yes.
So yes, you are an ACC noob like me.
Yes.
No, it will take a few races before you get the hang of things. Okay, I think 8 Sil, yes, 8 Sil is just jumping out of the pits, and Raja as well. I think we saw a yellow flag there for both of the drivers. Not sure why. So yes, the race is the gaps between all the drivers has increased quite a bit, except for the gap between driver number 67, who is Raja, and 8 Sil. Let's quickly go on to
Yeah.
8 Sil, and yes, there we go. You know, 8 Sil is one of the more consistent drivers. Always, I mean, even in a field which is packed with 20-25 drivers, he always manages to. He ensures that he finishes in the at least around between P5 and P7, and
Oh,
he
and
just goes wide there, and luckily still manages to keep that gap between himself and Raja
Kake.
still high. It was actually Raja. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it was Kake behind him, I guess.
No, it's actually Raja. Kake is driving a McLaren. Raja is driving the Porsche.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, there we go. So that's Raja over there. So yeah, can see the track getting a little bit greasy. Yes, the indicator
dry
on the top
line.
right. Yes, it also indicates the same thing. So the drivers must ensure that they are still they keep their cars within that 2-3 meter dry patch on the track. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
would be another incident like what Eitzel had just now.
Yes, they have to be very cautious now going since because of these oscillating conditions, dry patch, wet patch, it keeps on coming. They have to be really careful and yeah.
Well, not definitely, yeah. But then again, there's still rain predicted for with the next 30 minutes. I'm not sure why it has stayed the same because yes, there we go. At 10 minutes from now, the track we are expecting a moderate amount of rain. It was the indicator showed that it would be dry, but now it has changed. So we are expecting light rain 10 minutes from now, and around the time the race will be getting over, we will be having very wet conditions. So
Yes, yes.
we will be in for an action-packed finish to this, to the finale of the season, or finale of season 4.
Definitely, definitely. The amount of action we saw in the past few laps is crazy. Deepak going to third place, then Electric spinning it out, and he's closing up. Electric.
Oh, I think we have an upset here for Raja's going quite. Oh wait, hold on a sec. That wasn't Raja. Who was Electric fighting with? I think that was
It is
Kake.
Kake. And Electric.
Oh,
Oh,
both have
Kake
spun
went
out.
Electric spun out.
Oh
No.
no.
Electric managed to correct
Where
his
is-
car quickly, but
It's not
Kake.
Electric. It's Kake was to watch out.
It's Electric and Kake. They both have crashed out, and it will be shocking for Kake. He was trying to go for a charge towards the end of the race, but I think those hopes have been cut short.
Oh,
And I think Electric will be getting a report against him sooner rather than later.
They're both getting awfully close to each other.
Look
I
at
don't
that
think
diffuser,
Kake
man.
is gonna let this. Electric is gonna let this by that incident. He's probably.
Kake goes a bit wide, touches the grass, and which I haven't been doing much of, but let's go. And Kake and Electric goes around the outside, but
Electric
goes
was
off.
too
and,
wide. That was
yeah.
not a place to make an overtake. That corner
I
was
think that was not
way
needed.
too sharp.
I think that was not needed.
It
for-
was
for
over
Electric.
ambitious from.
Well, talking about the weather that we're about to see, even I've grabbed a drink of water and my throat has been rehydrated. And the track is also about to get rehydrated in the next 10 minutes.
And I think we
So-
can see, Deepak and Kapil are fighting it out for P3. Oh, look at that. I mean, this is no F1, but, Deepak is trying to break that slipstream.
Can we just see the side of Deepak's car, the right side of Deepak's car maybe?
Oh, can you see something?
Deepak, not, yeah.
Yep, there
See, he has some scratch battle marks on the side of his car, which could be causing him to lose some time to Kapil.
Well,
I think this was caused by that huge incident we had between Faizan and Raja. When Faizan went into the side of Deepak and got huge damage. But the real surprising factor of this race is Piyush Gandhi. He is in the lead of the race. Who expected to see that?
well, only time will tell because Piyush was. Hold on a second. Wasn't Panda ahead of Piyush when he came out of the
fell
pits?
back, and Panda has also fallen back, and Davlish has fallen back like a stone.
Kapil.
Yeah, he pitted twice, Davlish.
Oh, look at that.
So-
These both have
Between
an
Deepak
incident.
And that would really play out into Deepak's favor technically because he can gain a lot of time now to Kapil and maybe feel safe for the next 30 minutes of racing that we have left.
Kapil has damage. He might have to pit.
Probably it depends on the extent of the collision, the magnitude of the collision. We could not see it because there were other battles going on in the other parts of the track. But meanwhile, let's go quickly jump on board Panda, who's closed down that gap. Well, Slaya
We were
Commentator
expecting
scores
that
right there.
definitely.
Oh, they get a little too
I
close
don't
to
think
each
that
other.
was necessarily commentator's curse. I think that's just the skill difference between an amateur
Wow.
driver and a pro driver. And yes, Piyush Gandhi has fallen back to P2. Even if he manages to finish here, it would be a mega result for him.
Well, then
Definitely.
But now I think if Piyush Gandhi wants Deepak Raj to win the championship, he'll just let him go.
well, I
And
don't.
let him win the championship. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Anyways.
Well, it's of course not gonna happen. I don't think any driver other than Michael Schumacher would do something to give their best friend a position for them to win a championship.
Yes, because Piyush Gandhi can gain quite a lot in the standings from this. Though he might not
Electric
be
or
the champion.
Kake are fighting it out there. We failed
And
to miss that
Electric
bet.
gets ahead.
Oh, look at that! What has happened?
What? That's lag from Electric. Yes, that is fixed.
Oh
Yo,
my
bro,
God.
what the hell?
I
Man
was.
went flat. Yeah, I got scared for a second there, but Electric has struck it on Kake, and yes, he is now in P8 and Kake in P9 now. So
Something's happened to Raja as well. Wait, I think there's been an incident. No, okay.
no incident between Raja. Raja is having a lonely race. Even if he has an incident, it will be his own fault.
So Deepak Raj is pitted now.
I think he's pitted for wet tires, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. If he pits for slicks, then it's gonna be really bad for Deepak.
It's gonna be a
I mean,
gamble.
the
Definitely.
obvious choice is to go for. Wait.
Or is he pitting for
Oh,
damage? I think
he's bidding for damage.
Yes, he has pitted for damage. Oh, interesting
Oh,
to see. Kapiles gets past him, and Davlish will also soon be coming. Yes, and Davlish is also past him, and just loss of
Taggis one
position
will
for
also
Deepak here.
get one on Deepak here. Yep,
But
he's also
yes,
past Deepak.
the drivers behind Tegiswan are too far away to, I think, catch up. Yes, they are right now at 130 R if I'm not mistaken.
Let's go on board the
On
next
board
mirror.
8 still. Yes, he is at 130 R. And he goes wide. But I don't know if any driver has drive-throughs or anything.
Oh,
or
look at that.
It's not being reflected.
And Kake
Oh.
manages to take back that position. I think he had Kake though. He managed to keep it on track. So Electrip, although Electrip and Kake both having a very incidental race, and oh my
Oh,
god,
definitely a
he's-
huge incident. Huge incident. And Kake
No.
just goes past an Electrip. That would be a disappointment for him. And Davlish comes to lap him and rub salt in the wound.
oh,
Electrip
Oh, and
doing
he's
some
just doing some
celebratory
donuts.
donuts there. A bit too
I think he
soon
knows
if
his
you
race
ask
is
me.
over.
And Panda also sets
Oh.
the fastest
Oh.
lap of.
Panda's already
He
gapped
whips
Yusani
up.
by 12 seconds. Oh.
he's on fire. Well, Panda is on fire.
There is a
Track isn't
reason.
on fire, definitely.
There is a reason, that Panda is in a class called Pro class, because he's in literally in a class of his own. That
If
way.
Davlish's pedals or internet gives up right now, that would put Panda in prime position to win the championship.
Lots of points for the taking.
Especially in an endurance race situation, there are a lot of points in one race.
But the gap between both drivers, I mean, yeah, like you said, Davlish needs to lose out a lot. if
Davlish
he's-
has to finish 100-ish points behind Panda or something like that.
Yes.
60 points, I guess. Let me just go over it again because I have the IRC website open up right now. And if anyone new is watching, you can also head over to the IRC website and sign up for our multiple leagues, including F1 and ACC. And we have AC leagues as well. You can sign up for those as well, Assetto Corsa. And yes, we also have a Discord server which is very active, and you can make new friends here. And yes, so be sure to join if you're interested in sim racing.
Well, make new friends like Slaya, who's I think Electrip has called it a day. He's parked it on. Wait, has he?
Nah, he's returned to garage. I
Okay.
think he's just given up
Yes.
after damage. I think he just got a lot of damage.
Hold on a second. I don't see Electrip anymore. I think he's called it today. Yes.
No. He's still there in P9.
No, I can see him, but when I try to
Yeah,
switch
he's
to
gone.
scammer,
Yeah,
He's gone now.
Electrip has called it a day.
So I think that
He
basically
was-
secures P8 for Kake now because there is no one to fight him.
Well, that secures the
Electrip,
championship
welcome
for
to the
Kake.
comms box, man. Disappointing collision for you,
Okay.
man. So welcome to the comms box now. I think
Hello,
this is
Electrip.
a resort for all the crashed out drivers.
So what happened there between you and Kake? Electrip, are you there?
I don't think he is. I think he's just joined us to see what
Yeah.
we are doing.
I was talking to myself.
Oh,
Hello.
he's here. Welcome. Welcome,
Hello.
Electrip, after a disappointing contact with Kake. What are your thoughts on what just happened?
Okay, basically, if you guys seen me and him going I was trying to overtake him. He was trying to overtake me. Basically, I was on dry tires. I think he's on wet tires. I'm not sure what tires he's on.
And just as you say wet, the rain has fallen at Suzuka, and yes, continue, Electrip.
Basically, there's a dry line on track and there's a wet line.
Yes.
So whenever I try to overtake him, I have to go onto the wet line. That's why I keep losing the car. So whenever I'm trying to go overtake him, I have to go onto the wet line, and my braking zones are completely different because
Yes.
it's a wet line. That's why I keep having contact with him. I'm trying to be as clean as possible, but if I stay behind him, I'm just losing tons of time.
Yes,
And
definitely,
yeah.
I agree with you all that you've said. The wet line and dry line does play a factor, especially in a hardcore simulation game like ACC. And just unfortunate for you, Electrip, that you
Yeah.
had to just quit the race. And yes,
Yes.
I think a lot of drivers have quit the race just because of the sheer disappointment of racing on a treacherous track like this.
Yeah, too much damage, but I tried my best, but it is what it is.
I think after the race, everyone would be approaching the coordinators and saying like, "Ye kyun kiya bhai? Why did you do this?" And just
Definitely. Suzuka in itself is a pretty hectic track. If you add rain to it, it just creates carnage.
yes, that's what the discussion me and Dan were having before the race, because Dan had the plan to call in drivers for live commentary from the drivers' perspectives. And we do have Electric with us right now, but he's not in the race, unfortunately. And I was like, bro, Suzuka, and especially in the wet, it's going to be treacherous for the drivers to talk and drive at the same time. But yes, luckily we got Electric with us right now.
Well,
in
I
them,
wouldn't.
and,
I wouldn't call it luckily because Electric has had
unlucky for him,
quite
lucky for us.
yeah,
I
quite a
mean,
bad
to,
race.
to be honest, my leg also cramped up while driving. So the last like 1 lap ago, 2 laps ago, my leg cramped up. I was trying to brake with one leg. I was trying to keep my other leg flat, but the cramp isn't going away and it still hurts very badly. So I was trying to drive with one leg and I spun out.
I completely
So,
Oh.
agree
yeah,
with you,
yeah.
Electric, at this point because
Yeah.
even I've done 2 endurance races in ACC, and your leg does cramp up after a while, especially after such a long distance and at such a track like Suzuka, especially in the wet. It would have been difficult for every
Yep.
driver.
Yep.
So, in the meantime, I think I think has Panda gone into the pits again? Yes, Panda is in the
Yes,
pits.
Piyush Gandhi as well in the pits. They're
So,
pitting for wets.
Piyush
That's why I said that it wasn't worth it to pit for dry tires, and that's the mistake they've made, and they're paying the price by going into the pits.
So the gamble didn't work out for the people who put on the dries.
And I think it's going to be wet till the end of the race now, so I think this is the gamble that they were playing on, and this might work out for them.
So Davlish is
Kapil.
coming through 130R and he's almost hit the chicane there, but he won't
Panda is out of the pits.
won't come fast enough to catch up to worship the Panda, who is already on his way through turn 1 and is going into the S section.
So at this point, even if Davlish does not finish the race, he will get classified because I think we have covered 75% distance already. And yes, so if any driver completes 75% distance of the race and just gets disconnected, they'll still be classified and get points for the same.
So will they get the position, the points for the position they
See,
finished
like
in?
if
They
Davlish
get disconnected.
no. So if Davlish like disconnects right now, he will eventually drop down to P9 if you look at it theoretically, and he will get points according to P9 if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
Okay.
I think 2 people who would know that better than me are in the race now, which are Kake and Worship the Panda, who are our coordinators for ACC. They would know this stuff much better than me, and yes, they are racing right now, so we can't ask them.
Is that a rule? Genuinely?
I think that is in our league.
Ah,
Yes.
crap. I did.
Electric must probably be regretting quitting so early.
I mean, if you would have done, I think you will still get points, maybe. But
I mean, the car was drivable.
you
but,
could have
you know.
driven it for maybe like 10 minutes more.
Yeah, car was drivable. Like, I mean, it's hard to drive, but I still had the control of it. But yeah.
Right now in our ACC voice channel, we have 3 drivers who are very much focused on the races. I don't want to drag any of them into the VC. But
Yeah,
yes.
you can't drag them in anyway.
I can't drag them in. You can drag them in.
I'm not gonna drag them in. I think Aladdin already gave me enough threats. If
I think anyone who is not familiar with Discord would think of this as very weird because dragging people into the VC is yes,
yeah,
not ideal.
Definitely.
Let's just say.
it's I don't think that is advisable at this point. If we drag any of the drivers who are driving right now, we would probably get shouted at. I don't think they would even bother if if they are shouting at us in front of the whole world. Yeah.
So I think basically we'll have to be interviewing all of the silver class drivers because we have only 3 silver class drivers who are in the race, and yep, they are all going to be on the podium technically for silver class.
So far,
Electric, what was your plan? What was your strategy before you knew that it was gonna rain?
Good question.
Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
go ahead, Electric.
What did he say? Like, I didn't hear the
Strategy.
question.
He wanted to know what your
Ah.
strategy was.
Okay, basically, I had no strategy. My only strategy was following what I see on screen. If it says slick tires, I changed to slicks. If it says wet, I changed to wet. That's what I was doing the entire race. When I got the pop-up message, like, I'll pit.
So
I was just trying to stay alive. I didn't even care about positions at that point.
basically pulling off a Jeff, like whatever Jeff says in
Yeah.
F1, we listen to him.
Pretty
Definitely.
much.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I genuinely I couldn't think for myself. Like I didn't know what to do. I was so confused. I was just like, I'll just follow what he says, and I'll end up somewhere. If I just keep.
Well, so we do have a question. Sorry to interrupt you, Electric, but we do have a question in our YouTube chat which I had not noticed before. But Rishabh Somani has asked, do we get an F1
And
car as a safety
I'm sorry
car
to
in
interrupt
this?
you, Slayer.
Okay,
Davlish
go
has
on, go
made
on.
his
Yes.
move on Piyush Gandhi and has taken P3. And Worship the Panda is also set to take take P2 from Kapil, P1 from Kapil. I'm sorry. They're both very close to each other. They are. Oh, I don't think. Oh man, this camera is not able to capture
This
the thing.
is so
Oh,
close. And
Oh,
then the
he
big
goes on.
acoustic. What a move from Worship the Panda, and respectful from Kapil to leave the space for him, because this could have ended in a big shunt for Panda.
Good racing, good race.
well, yeah, like you said, Rohit said, it is smart racing because Kapil knew that there was no way that he was going to hold on to that lead long enough, and he played the sportsman. Oh, that was Panda going a bit. Oh, I think okay.
I
He's
think
managed.
Kapil will just stick back because I think the Kapil doesn't want to ruin anyone's race.
Yeah, so I was saying that Kapil just felt like he wasn't going to hold on to that position long enough. Seeing the amount of time it took for Panda to close the gap between himself and
And now, as
Kapil.
we see, Raja is in P9, but he's way far behind the pack, 3 laps down on Kake, who is his nearest competitor. So I think Raja is just racing for fun and just for the points which he'll get, nothing else, because I don't think there is much for Raja to race for in this race apart from that.
Definitely, just finishing itself will give him great boost of points.
Yeah, I think about 50 points for finishing in P9. So that's actually a great boost, as you said, Rohit.
Well, that would
Yeah,
guarantee him a P3 finish in the championship. Um, yeah,
Yes, it
P3
will.
because
You are correct.
the guy
Stock
who's on.
will get overtaken, yes.
Actually, I forgot to factor in Piyush Gandhi. Oh, I don't think Piyush Gandhi will still have enough points
No,
to
no, no, no. No,
go
Piyush
take
Gandhi
in
won't have
P3.
enough points. He
yeah.
might actually. No, he won't. He'll get 76 points, but I think that 50 points is like, yeah, not
It's an
enough for Piyush
unassailable
Gandhi.
lead. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, as it stands, Raja is set for P3, and Deepak will take P2, and just narrowly ahead of him, Kake will take the AM class championship. And
Yeah.
Actually, most of the drivers have signed up since the starting of the season in this league, and meanwhile, I had signed up like 2 rounds later, and at that point, the BMW M4 had also come. But what happened to Kapil is
Kapil
okay,
just
maybe
probably
late braking or something like
yeah
that.
went a little out of shape there.
Yeah, so as I was saying, no one basically has taken. Oh, there's some yellow thing on
Oh,
Kake. Can we go on board?
yes, we are
I
on
think
board
he has made a
Kake.
mistake, and
Yes,
Piyush Gandhi has lapped him.
yes, that
Yes, he
was
has fallen back 20 seconds. So I think if Electrep had stayed in the race, maybe it could have worked out for him. But yes,
Kake's
debatable.
Kake is actually
Uh,
going quite slowly. Sure. Look at
Yes,
that.
I think.
That's another.
Oh, Teg is one has lost
oh,
it at 130R. And I think Kake's reason for going slowly is because he has front bumper damage on his McLaren, which is deadly basically. If you have front bumper damage on your McLaren, it's dead.
oh,
Death.
I think
sad.
these conditions are proving a little too treacherous for the drivers. I can
Yes.
barely see what is behind 100 meters, 100 or 200. I don't know that much distance behind that driver. It's all too foggy. Oh, look at
Oh,
that!
Oh,
oh, oh, Piyush
Tegus one
Gandhi. Oh,
narrowly. Oh,
oh,
he's
that's
all
Piyush
over the
Gandhi, and he
place.
survived that. And I think Piyush Gandhi is like, he or a lap down, I'll just let you, it's fine.
Probably thinking, why not? Why risk getting a report on
Yes,
himself?
definitely.
So he's already.
And can we go like to Kake's car? I just want to examine the damage that he has. If we can go to that side profile camera, That would be
Green
great.
camera would
Oh, and I think Piyush Gandhi lost it. Yeah, he went off. Look at Piyush Gandhi.
Yes, Piyush
Yes,
Gandhi has
Oh, he's off.
I just
lost
saw
it.
Piyush Gandhi's Aston Martin flying off into the barrier in the background, and I was like, what happened here? And yes,
I was
as
also
my
able to see
suspicion
that.
was
Yeah.
correct, and Piyush Gandhi has lost it. And Tech is one jumps into
Piyush,
P4,
Piyush,
and Deepak Raj.
Piyush Gandhi he's out. He's not in the race anymore. I
I
mean,
think
it
he's
might
just given
seem,
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
out.
back in the pits. I think. Yeah,
He's out.
no,
He's out.
he's out. He's
Piyush
very
is
disappointed
out.
after that crash, and he's out.
Oh my God.
Piyush
Only
did a
8
very well.
finishers. I am actually not surprised by what kind of crazy conditions we've seen in this race. 8 still in the pits,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know what his plan is. Maybe it's just for damage. Yeah, it looks just for damage.
It's for damage. Yes. But
Uh,
Piyush had done a brilliant job up till now. I don't know
Piyush
why.
Gandhi at one point he was in the lead, and yeah,
Exactly.
disappointing for him. Disappointing.
Leave out
Yeah.
Piyush Gandhi. Couple who started in P12 now is now in P2, and he's still keeping that gap between himself and Deepak in that 30 seconds. There is quite the performance from a driver who's in a class below his the driver on his tail.
Actually, and Kapil Ace actually did pretty well to recover because he was involved in an incident early on in the race, and yet he's managed to stick it in P2, maintaining a 30-second gap to Davlish. But yes, next 10 minutes it's going to be rainy, and after that 30 minutes later it's going to be dry, but we won't get to see that dry patch because our race is about to finish in just 14 minutes time.
Yes.
Back to that question on YouTube, Rishabh had asked something you were saying.
Do we get an F1 car as safety car in this? No, Rishabh, we don't get a safety car in this race because in GT3 racing or endurance racing, there is no safety car. There is only a full course yellow flag, which also we do not see in this race because most people just return to garage and there is no need for that. And yeah, a full course safety car is basically like a virtual safety car in F1. Full course yellow, not full course safety car. My bad.
Does that happen in GT3?
Yeah, in real racing, if you see there is a huge incident, then there will be a full course yellow.
Oh, in real
Which
racing.
means the
of
drivers
course.
have to go slowly around the whole track, which is basically the same as a virtual safety car.
Okay, but it doesn't happen in ACC though. Right.
No, because the ACC as in a game it has the return to garage feature, which most drivers use if they're involved in any incident.
Right.
Because that instantly repairs all the damage, but you still have to wait for 2 minutes and add on extra time for the amount of damage that you had.
I think Panda just had a little bit of an incident that he's lost 2 seconds to Kapil, who's.
No, he has not. I think.
I mean, a little bit of an incident. Look at that gap between.
Yeah. No.
Okay, the
Okay,
time board
I
is
think the
going a
delta
little
is a
glitchy.
bit. So let's see the lap times from all the drivers if that's possible. Then
Yes, just give me a minute. You want to see the personal bests?
yeah, I just want to see the personal best from each driver and compare the skill. I think it has been set in different conditions by each driver. So let's rule out Panda out of this. But apart from that, all of the drivers setting pretty insane laps for wet conditions. Two 11s, two 10s. From Tegis one, I think he's the best of the rest, excluding the pro drivers. But even Davlish Singh hasn't been that much on the pace in the wet conditions. I don't know, maybe it's just me or maybe he set his lap times in different conditions to other drivers because we had a huge spell of different conditions in this race.
Well, hold on a second. I think some incident. Yes, there was 8 still going off track there. Oh,
He isn't losing much to anyone at this point.
well, he still has a championship that he is going to lose now.
Yes. Oh, actually, yes, I forgot about that completely. 8 still is in the losing seat for the championship right now.
He will.
That's just disappointing.
That's shocking.
Yeah, that's definitely shocking. I think one of the main contributing factors to that is he missed the round prior to this, which was Torrington Park. And yeah, that really hindered his championship standing. And look how he's fighting the car in the wet conditions. How difficult it is for these drivers to fight their cars and make it around safely on the track. And just imagine they've been doing this for 1.5 hours almost.
Yeah, gets pretty insane. Their mind also It gets exhausted after a few times, but you just gotta go on with it.
Well, they are basically driving a full. It's like driving a 100% F1 race without, Oh, that is
Oh,
So,
Tegis one. That is
and
Tegis
Deepak
one.
Raj gets ahead. And will Kaki be able to get ahead? I don't think so. Kaki will be able to get ahead.
Well,
No,
it
they're too
doesn't.
far back. Yes.
It
So Deepak Raj moves up one place. That won't really affect too much in the championship for AM class. But the only shake-up we're gonna see is in the pro class and the silver class, because Davlish Singh, if he finishes this way, he's gonna clinch the championship from Masoom, who unfortunately wasn't with us today. And yes, and Kapil Ace will also clinch the championship for silver class, and Kake in this position will clinch the championship for AM class. Too many clinches there, well.
yeah. I would love to see if
And all of us
Manush could.
commentators, oh, there was some car drifting there. Was that 8 Sil? Yeah, that was 8 Sil. He just drifted at 130R. I think he just saved that. Yeah, look, if you just go back 2-3 seconds in the stream, you might be able to see it. But yeah, he saved it, and yeah, he's underway.
Well, the race gaps have stayed the same in the time period in which we were
300
looking at the
seconds
best
to
lap.
8 Sil, and take is one, bro.
300. I mean,
400 almost.
why is it even expressed in the form of seconds? He could just say it in
Laps.
laps. Oh my god.
Actually, yeah, that should be in laps. I don't know what issue seems to be there, but
I think it's a glitch from the
ACC TV.
ACC
But
TV.
nonetheless, ACC TV has provided us with great footage in this race, and yeah, big shout out to their software for helping us conduct this race in such great fashion and producing it so well.
So I kind of regret not being able to use it before. Like
Yeah,
I said.
definitely. It looks so nice.
I mean, the default options on the.
Look at this camera angle. Look at this, man. So nice.
Okay, let's
This
not.
one especially.
I am pretty sure you are in love with AC's the camera options that are available right now. Of course, streaming has never been
Who isn't?
this easy before. I mean, I'm not discrediting ACC, the actual ACC games camera options, the streaming options or anything, but it's now much easier to actually control the streaming end of the whole thing. Like, yeah.
I just can't get over Panda's livery, man. So nice.
Panda's
Oh,
going to the
and
pits.
just as we say that, he's in the pits.
I think he's predicting drier thing, or he
No,
probably
no.
had some
That would be
damage.
a wrong move, or
Damage.
maybe damage, yeah. Because that would be a wrong move. The race won't go till the dry period now, just 10 minutes left, and the rain will actually get heavier from now, so not even expecting it to get lighter.
I think it's probably because the gap between Kapil and Davlish is like it's more than 30 seconds, and the gap between himself and Kapil was a bit high. I
Kapil
don't
is
understand
takes
what his play is here. Oh, he just barely manages to come behind Kapil there.
If Panda loses some time, will that mean Kapil can clinch the win?
Well, we still have 7 minutes to go. I mean, it's too early to call
early.
that.
It's
Kapil,
a matter of four laps to go.
yeah,
if you see.
I mean, speaking of Kapil pulling off an upset, it wasn't. It hasn't been long since he pulled his last upset, because even in last week's F1 Tier 1 race, Kapil started somewhere in the back, if I'm not mistaken, and he managed to win the race.
And that just goes to show how skilled Kapil is, because he's being able to manage a GT3 car as well as an F1 car. And not a lot of people can do that. And Panda sends it down the inside.
That was
what a move from Panda. Beautiful move. And,
That was an
yeah.
epic send, a send of dreams.
one second back and he sent it and got the move done.
Something
That was insane.
That was truly insane indeed. It's not something many drivers would be brave enough to do, especially in conditions like these, where you can't even see the track itself. And I think Deepak has had an incident.
Deepak has spun it, but I think he'll still be safe from Tegis 1. Yeah, Tegis 1 is a bit too far back.
Well, it's not I mean, yeah, at this point it doesn't matter, but It's the other the AM class drivers that he
Oh,
needs to
Tegis one
worry
also
about.
lost it. Yeah, Tegis one also went wide.
That's
Yes.
Raja
Raja
out here
also going
going
wide.
wide, and Kapil
I think he's
lapping
just
him.
letting the lapped car go. Yes.
Yeah, that was probably the lap. Yeah, definitely had to be him letting the lap car go. So Raja at this point should be 4 laps down.
Yes, he is 4 laps down,
He's
and well, disappointing race from Raja from a race standpoint, but from the point standpoint, it's actually been pretty good for him. He'll still score about 60 odd points if I'm not
yellow
mistaken.
flag. I thought I saw yellow flag.
Yellow flag for Worship the Panda. I
But
think
he's
that's
still
just a
on
glitch.
track. Yeah, that was probably another glitch. Well, at least it keeps me on my toes. On the
Yes.
streamer's end, at least. Yeah. Well,
And
Yeah,
hats
so
off to you for being able to commentate and stream at the same time.
yeah, I'm pretty good at multitasking. But like I said, I think there is a Porsche getting quite close. I thought Kapil was going slow there for a bit. But okay, that was just the camera angles playing tricks on my vision. And oh my god!
Off the track, but I think he has a
Oh,
safe enough
that's
gap.
another
and
driver
also
going
goes
off track.
wide.
Kapil also went off track for a
Raja,
second.
I think, has lost it, bro. This race has been so treacherous for the drivers, and it's been so difficult to get through in one piece. And these 8 drivers who are here till now have managed to do so. And I hope these 8 stay till the end of the race, which is just 4 minutes away now.
Well, I don't. I at this point I feel like I've been noticing Davlish since the last few minutes, and I think it's right now he's pretty aware that if things go the way they are, Davlish will still take the championship,
Yes,
and
definitely.
so he's just trying to keep his position, not pushing it too much.
Davlish doesn't
taking
need to do
risks.
anything. He will win the championship in any case.
Meanwhile, 8-Sil's time board has completely glitched out. It's gone to
700
10
seconds.
minutes,
Okay.
a 10 and a half, 11 minute, 12, approaching a 12-minute gap between himself and Tegis one.
He spins it. Okay, never mind. That was also a glitch,
Yeah.
maybe. Actually, he went wide. I am pretty sure.
Let's not jump to any conclusions before until we
I just see that
get
yellow
the
flag and I
cam.
am in
Yeah.
state of shock. Absolutely, like, oh, what happened?
And yeah, I'm pretty sure it is a human response after all. We tend to get pretty excited when we see something going off.
Especially in a race like this, it's even more human to
Yeah.
think that someone has gone off or had a crash.
We are seeing all these yellow lights and yellow lights and white lights flashing every now and then. Yeah, probably just the game or the software just picking out, identifying certain incidents where drivers go slow. There is a sort of an algorithm that is in the play here, where it calculates the speed of a driver for that section of the track, and it decides whether a driver is going too slow or if he has crashed out or something. So that is
Yeah, I think they just set the limits, and if anyone goes
Yeah.
off that, then they'll just show a yellow flag, which is actually good on them because they're just giving us extra tools to see what every driver is doing.
The ACCTV is
Yeah.
actually chock filled with tools of all sorts right now. If you actually go as a streamer, I can see what is going. I mean, what kind of things I have access to. After it gets over, I will show you as well because if you see it for the first time, you will probably.
I think the biggest ironic part is that the ACC TV software, mind you, ACC TV software is using the font that F1 uses. So
Is it? I
yes,
haven't
this is
noticed
the
it
F1 font. So
Oh, you-
I was
okay, okay.
actually
The-
exactly. So I
this
was like
one.
pretty surprised because
Okay.
the software is called ACC TV. So but still a pretty intuitive UI and gives us all the data that we need to make sure that the race production goes smoothly.
Yeah, pretty good. I would like to see Masoom in the end stages. He was not able to make it,
Well,
Well,
but
this is the
these
finale,
are
Rohit.
the end stages, Rohit. Where have you been?
no, end stages of the race.
Oh yeah, of
There
course.
is no
Yeah.
Masoom.
We would have loved to see Masoom take part in
Yes,
this race. It
definitely.
would have spiced up
I know.
the race a little
Yeah.
bit more. We are at
But
the
I think this may be the last lap of the race.
No, this
No,
will be
actually,
the
this won't.
penultimate
Second
lap.
last.
Yeah.
Penultimate lap of the race.
and
So we're just coming to a close to our season 4 of ACC and IRC And if anyone in the chat wants to sign up for the next season, then make sure to do so on our website. And yeah, it's been a great race till now, and yeah, definitely good performance from all the drivers. But I think Kapil has lost it, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Davlish has caught up. Davlish has caught up quite a bit, actually.
Davlish is actually okay. I think
No, Davlish has also dropped back. Actually, no. He's pulling
Wait,
back. Yeah.
that is the time board's glitching out again. Um,
I
yeah,
think the ACC TV
narrowing
software
that.
is also. Yeah, go on.
He's narrowing. I'm not sure what's going on. I think. Oof.
He's letting
Kapil
Raja
is
go.
slowing down.
What is
Oh,
happening?
he has some issue with this pedal, is it?
Maybe it's with an issue with his wheel. Can Kake come? Can 8 Silk come back?
No. I don't think that is possible. I think 8 is too far behind.
Can we go back on board Kapil and see if the issue has been solved?
Just a minute. Yeah, no, he's back.
Yes, the issue has been solved now, and he's back underway. And he hasn't even lost the position to Davlish.
Although,
Wait, this race is over now. I think no. Actually, no. Panda
Panda still
went
yet
for
to
another
cross
lap.
the finish line. He will take P1, but yeah, the
Still not gonna win the
has been
championship, but
decided.
yes.
It will be P1 for Davlish.
Davlish Singh. Well
Yeah.
done to Davlish Singh.
Davlish will be taking P1. He will be the season 4 ACC GT3 World Drivers
Well,
Champion.
and
if
Masoom not
that's how
attending
you
this
say.
race means that Masoom will drop back to P3 in the standings. That's just sad for him, man.
Yeah.
Very disappointed that Masoom couldn't make it. We would have loved to see a battle at the top.
Well,
Yes, definitely.
I'm pretty sure he knows that this won't be the last battle that he's going to be doing here
Definitely
in
Masoom
in IRC. So yeah,
and
he will be keeping the rest of the drivers on their heels, on their toes.
talking
sorry,
about
on
talking about
season
battles. Talking about battles, I don't think 8 Cells Delta suggests that he's any place to go for a battle. He's above 1000 seconds now, so well, the ACC TV has bugged out, and it's also, I think, disappointed that 8 couldn't do anything to challenge the championship. But yeah, still good display for him and from him. Is his hood damaged by any chance?
It looks
Yeah,
to
his
be
hood is
so.
damaged.
Yeah, it's just popping out a little bit from the
Yeah,
side.
I think that's the reason maybe 8 has lost a lot of time to the guys up ahead.
Yeah, and I don't think
But,
he's actually 1,000 seconds ahead.
Yes, definitely he's not. That would be just unrealistic and absurd.
And yes, Worship the Panda makes the final run after across 130R, and he's approaching that last chicane to finish off of season 4 of the ACC League, and he's just making it through the last corner, down through the Pirelli board, and there we go. The race is over, and let's
And
see.
takes a win.
Uh,
And
yes, 1 second. Just give me a second. I
Yes.
think let's quickly jump on board Kapil. Kapil is also going
Kapil
through
is
130R.
130R.
Okay. Just give me
Question marks coming in from Kake. I don't know what seems to be the problem there, but we'll find out soon enough in ACC voice. I'll head over there after the podium interviews are done.
Yep, there we
And
go.
see all the incidents that have taken place, and Davlish Singh coming out of the final chicane to take the championship, and Davlish Singh is the champion of ACC season 4, and what a performance it has been from him, and I would like to congratulate him that he has been able to win the championship with us, and yeah, great display from him to finish P3.
Brilliant drive from him.
Yeah, I am not sure, but is okay. So the race is officially over. I mean, okay,
Everyone has been sent to the pits
And
now,
and that is the
onwards to the
finishing order.
interviews.
So P1 will be taken by Worship the Panda. P2, okay. So everybody.
Yeah, I think it's glitched out, but P2 is Kapil A6 and P3 is Davlish Singh. And behind that, I am not sure if I remember the order, but I think it was Tegizwan and then Deepak Raj. But I'm very unsure of that fact.
Okay. Let's quickly bring on board the drivers, the winners from the race.
First of all, we need to bring in Panda. Can you drag him? He is the winner of Pro class today and the winner of the race as well. Welcome to the podium interview, Panda. What a race it has been. You have taken the win, and yeah, well done to you, man. How was it? How was the race?
I mean, race was pretty nice in the start. I was feeling the pressure. I was like, okay, the only way I'm getting the win is Davlish making a mistake, and that happened, and it was smooth sailing from then. Not smooth sailing, but like just sailing, I guess.
Especially the send that you sent up couples inside into the Lesmos. That was absolutely insane. We were admiring that overtake, and yeah, it was absolutely great to watch.
That was totally unintentional, by the way. I missed my breaking point, and I just had to go down the inside. There was nowhere else to go.
Yet you made the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good coincidence.
Well, congratulations to you, Panda, for finishing in P1 in this race. And let's move on to Davlish Singh, who is our podium finisher for Pro Class. He has finished in P2, but yet he takes the World Championship for ACC Season 4. So, Davlish, how was the race for you, man?
I actually had very good pace in the first stint, and I was pulling away like half a second per lap from Panda. But then while pitting, I overshot my braking marker, and because I had such high ABS, I basically completely overshot the entry. I went in with like 100 kph, and I knew I had a stop and go, so I decided I'll not change tires. I'll just add some fuel and just go.
Yeah, so Dan, that we didn't really get a chance to look at the penalties, but do you, Rohit or Dan, do you have any questions for Davlish? And yeah, Davlish, before they ask, congratulations on the championship, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, Davlish, this is Dan here. Again, mighty congratulations on winning the championship for season 4 of the ACC League. And of course, my first question is, what were your thoughts when you were, trailing in P3? Like, I had a feeling that you were just taking it easy.
Yeah,
Since
yeah. I didn't really need to push because already the conditions were so treacherous, and I knew if I finished P7 or above, I will win the championship. So I just
well,
kept on going slow,
well,
trying
so
to not to make mistakes.
so my prediction was right, and yes, of course, Davlish, you were one of the few drivers, if not the only driver, who managed to finish incident free. I mean, I didn't see a single time where you. I mean, I did see one time where you went off track or had a bit of an incident, but yes, for the most part, 99% of it, you managed to keep it clean. So that was a brilliant race from you overall. Moving on,
Thank you.
we have we don't have a P3 in
We don't have
the
any P3
pro,
in
pro
Pro.
class. So
So moving on to Kapil. Is Kapil there?
Kapil
Yes.
was
No, Kapil
here.
isn't there till now. Wait, I'll just ask him to join the VC. But until then, can we head on to Teg's one? If is he there?
Tag is
I'll just
one.
have to ping him. Maybe just give me a second.
Um, okay. Let's on the meantime, let's ask Eitzel. Eitzel, how was your race? Eitzel, are you there?
Yes, I think he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Eitzel. Well, you did finish P2 on the silver class, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you did finish P2. But then you, in the beginning of the race, you had the championship in your hands. What happened? I mean, we did see a few
Just
incidents. Yeah. But
yeah, I picked the wrong brake pads, so my brakes at like 45 minutes were completely red.
Oh,
So that was not a good call from my side to go on those brake pads. Yep, it's just a rookie error. Can't really say much. Congrats to Kapil. He deserves a championship. Yeah, I'm kind of lost for words right now. That was looking so good.
well, still well done to you. It's still good display from you. We saw the pace that you had, and yeah, well done, man. Sorry that you lost the championship, but yes, still good race. Well, now we can move on to Kapil, who we have with us in the VC, and who is the winner of Silver Class and the winner of the Silver Class Championship as well. So, Kapil, can we have your thoughts on the race?
It was fun race. Drive it, which is yeah, lovely to see because I can very distinctly remember Tanish being the leader of the entire pack before the race started. giving his gyan to everybody, saying, "This is very interesting conditions out there. There's only one option that you have to take, which is the wet tires. If you take dry tires, you're gonna be gone." The way he said it made me like rethink. Am I actually doing something wrong? And then to have all of that fall flat. I don't know. I'm sidetracking right now, but that was a hilarious moment for anyone who was in the VC. The race itself, fun. I would have not liked to have those two incidents. I would have liked to have a little more fun with Panda. I would have opened up a couple of more options. Obviously, he was next level. He just had the pace. So props to him. Um, the race was otherwise quite, peaceful as is typically the case with endurance. In this case, it was lovely wet conditions as well. I just kept looking at the sky for pretty much half the race, which is always fun to see. Um, while I may be the championship on paper, it's something that I can simply cannot take. I think I'm not sure who's won the pro championship. I think it
That is
might
Davlish
be
Singh.
Panda.
Davlish Singh has won the pro championship.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think I can speak for Davlish as well. Say, Masum has done an outstanding job and drive throughout the season, and for very unforeseen or for very sad reasons, he's not been able to race today. I mean, that's precisely to have our boy eight cylinder get a seat and get a chance to drive today. So for me personally, Masum and Eitzel are the winners of their respective classes. I mean, it might be a popular, unpopular opinion, but that's how I'll see it. But unfortunately, the paper says or writes a different story in the end. Interesting season all to all. I can definitely commend, a lot of new folks coming in, putting in a lot of effort, lot more effort than I do, and a lot more deserving of the silver and AM seats. They make the league what it is today, and to all those folks and to everyone who's participated, with enthusiasm, thank you so much. We are always thrilled to have you, and we hope to have many more seasons to come with all you lovely folks out there.
Well, Kapil, your speech almost brought tears to my eyes. That was really emotional, and yes, you giving the championship on in your heart to Eitzel and Masoom is just very great from you, and really nice sportsman spirit, and yeah, really appreciate it from you. But still, on paper, you are the champion right now, and I will have to congratulate you from my end on that behalf. So yeah, good race all in all, and thank you.
Hearty congratulations, Kapil. By chance, you had any issues with your wheel or pedal, if I'm not mistaken?
In the last two laps, no, actually, the story is that I didn't want to do one extra lap, so I knew that the gap was around 10 seconds to Panda in the last lap, and as I passed the start finish straight, sorry, the start of the lap, it was around 2 minutes 34 seconds to go, and I thought, look, there's no real point in doing another lap. So in the middle of the lap itself, let me just back off and maybe telepathically tell Panda to like back off and let's just finish the race before. But he didn't get the idea, and he just kept blasting through. And yeah, it was like nothing wrong with the car. I had a lot of fuel, a lot of control. There's no issues per se. I just wanted to wrap up early and go home. But
Okay.
such was not.
Well, you're not alone on that one. I think most drivers tend to do that and not try to do an extra lap. But all in all, good performance, man. And let's head on to the next finisher, who is Tejas one, but we don't have him unfortunately. So let's head on to Deepak and Dan. I'll let you take it away from here.
Well, Deepak, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of this race is what a brilliant recovery drive, man. You started you started P15 and you ended up in where did you end up? You ended up P4.
P4.
Yes, that was an amazing drive on your end. You had a share of your incidents. That awful collision between you and Faizan. Although it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't awful as I am stating it out to be. But how was your race from your perspective?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be a quite long story, so I really hope I don't bore you guys. But yeah, so basically, I had some VLS commitment, and I had planned to be home by 8:20 or something like that. But the Chennai and its traffic had some other ideas, so I was quite late, so I had to skip quali. And when I joined the session, it was barely just 40 seconds left to choose a setup and get everything sorted. So I had loaded up the setup, and then I saw that the track was damp and the weather forecast was wets in like 15-20 minutes. I was like, okay, I need to switch to wet tires. And then I didn't have time to, like finally get the pressures right. So the rears, I just clicked, and front, it was like front left was overly pressured, front right was under pressured. And I was like, okay, finally I'm going to start. But then my pedals didn't work. So I couldn't get off in the
Oh.
formation lap, and had to unplug the pedals, plug it again. But before I could get it sorted, I was already teleported to the pits. So yeah, I had to start from there. And regarding your collisions, like I don't really think I could have done anything different there because I had given him enough space over there.
Yes.
But the nature of the corner is it does understeer to the outside. So I believe Faizan might have just had a pinch of understeer there and come on to me. But yeah, I don't really think could have done anything different. But another incident I think I had was with couples. I'm really sorry about that. Like we were going at it quite hard for a lap, and I think at the start of S section there was just a minor contact between my car's front and his rear, and he was sent parading around. I really hope it didn't really ruin his race. I hope.
Yes.
And yeah, sorry for that couple.
I remember now. I remember now that you're having a lot of understeer, especially through the S section. Even Slaya and I were talking about it. How you were struggling. Not the S section, sorry, the spoon section. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you were
basically,
struggling quite a bit there.
since I was driving the wet tires on the dry started with incorrect pressures, like I was driving with very hot tires all the time, and it was quite a strategic nightmare to be honest. Like I don't know, the coordinator chose violence this week. Uh, that would be the right term because like
Yes.
anyone who is choosing to keep Suzuka as wet is definitely it's quite a challenge. And then the last 10-15 minutes were absolutely treacherous. Like it was quite a challenge to keep the pointed straight. So yeah, I mean, I really think it was just me just keeping going forward, not making a lot of mistakes and not just throwing in the towel. I think that was the only difference today.
Pretty cool drive, Deepak. Hearty congratulations. You had
Thank you.
any strategy in mind with the oscillating condition?
Well, I definitely was thinking like maybe I thought there would be some window for slick, but there was absolutely nothing. So I just stretched out the wets until I could have the best wet tire possible till the end. But even then, those tires were also kind of dead. I was oversteering and understeering all over the place. So I decided to make the stop and just go for it.
Well, at
Yeah.
that in those conditions, I don't think any kind of strategy would have worked out. I mean, any strategy that you could have had would have been like then there's it's like next 30 minutes, so there's gonna be rain next 10 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna pit after 5 minutes from now.
And to top it all off, the weather prediction was also quite oscillating. Like it was saying 10 minutes and then 30 minutes and then it was cloudy and then it was again 10 minutes. It was kind of oscillating here and there. So yeah, it was quite a chaotic weather conditions. The coordinators would definitely nail that aspect of the race today. And yeah, congratulations to Kake as well. I believe he does take the championship. Today I had to outscore him by 40 plus points, but yeah, I don't think I have done that. So yeah,
Yeah,
I believe
well,
Kake has taken the championship. So yeah, congratulations, Kake. That was really good race from you as well.
well, yeah, you were
Thanks,
pretty
thanks.
close to winning the championship. If it had not been for the few incidents and the rage quits from people in the back of the grid, otherwise it would have been your championship. But yes,
Well,
that's unfortunate for you. But either way, congratulations on your win in the AM class.
thanks, man. Thanks. It's been a really good season and
Yes.
really looking forward to the next one.
Well, yes.
Well,
Moving on,
okay.
Kake.
No. Just a second, Dan. In the YouTube chat, I am just reading. Someone wrote, "Kake won the championship, but Deepak won our hearts." So Deepak, yes, that is completely true. And thank you for winning our
Whoever that
hearts,
was,
man.
thank you so much.
And Rohit Shastri also agreeing to that. And yes, But thank you for winning our hearts and great performance, man. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Good job, you guys. As well.
We
And
also
talking of Kake as well, we have a lot of praise for Kake as well in the chat. So let's head on to Kake. Kake, how was the race? And congratulations on the AM Class Championship.
Yeah, thanks, man. The race was terrible, absolutely terrible. I completely bottled it in the first 30 minutes. Like, first 15 minutes itself, I had 3 pit stops, which included a stop and go 30 seconds. And then, like as Deepak mentioned, the race started on a damp track. So I thought I'll just go on wets and continue till the 30-minute mark where it showed the rain will be coming. But then the tires were just too hot. There was no grip, so I pit in after the third lap, I think, and for dry set of tires. Accidentally went in too quick into the pits, earned myself a stop and go 30 seconds. Served that, then 20 minutes later I had to pit again for wet tires, and then myself being a coordinator, I'll take the credit for the chaotic settings I had put up here. And yeah, that meant 30 minutes later it was dry again, and I was battling with electrip for a brief moment with tire pressures at 38 on all four. So that was something. But yeah, I completely bottled it in the first 30 minutes as well.
Well, Kake, before
Yeah.
any of my fellow commentators ask any further questions, I was just reading chat and I'm fascinated by the fan following we have, Kake.
Just
Ursula
all.
Noor has written in chat, if Kake has a million number of fans, I am one of them. If Kake has 10 fans, I'm one of them. If Kake
Yep.
has no fans, that means that means I'm no more on earth on the earth. If the world is against Kake, I'm against the world. I love Kake till my last breath. Die-hard fan of Kake. Hit like if you think Kake best and smart in the world. Well, Kake, that was a lot of praise for you. And
Yep.
that has to
Thanks,
be
Noor and Chris, all of my college friends who are there for cheering me up in the chat. But yeah, uh, yeah, I will, like, for this race, definitely not deserving of this million fans or a single fan. But yeah, overall a nice season. Congrats to Deepak as well. He almost scared me when he was P3, and I was like, okay, I need to do some quick maths to see what will happen, what
yeah,
will not
even we
happen.
in the comms box were almost every lap we were doing quick maths, and I was going to ACC chat checking the point system every single lap when the positions were changing so frantically. It was just not we were not expecting, we had not predicted any result because the race was like going left, right, and center. So it was just insane. But congratulations to you, man, and I hope you can carry your form into the next season.
Yep,
The
thanks a lot.
though your race was a chaotic start, you did not give up. You have finished the race. That in itself is a great achievement, man.
And of
Exactly. I
course, I
mean,
had to with
seeing it through the end is
championship on the
itself is a
line.
quite big of an aspect. So yeah, just cheer up, buddy.
well, yes. Considering
Yeah.
that literally half of the grid rage quit after a few
That's
incidents that
true.
happened to them, especially one of the guys, or who with whom you had an incident, Electrip. Not just one. You had quite a few incidents where he was trying to unlap himself, and you were fighting it out with him. And
No, we were actually battling for we were battling for
yeah,
a position there in the middle for P8. But then, like, I bet he was on wet tires as well with extremely high pressures. So yeah, first he was spinning, then I was missing my apexes, going wide, etc., etc. But yeah, that was part and parcel of the battle.
Yes, indeed. I mean, whether it was, you know, tough. I mean, it was, of course, a spectacle for us viewers and streamers / commentators to watch. You gave us quite a lot of entertainment there. So thanks for that. And once again, mighty congratulations on winning the amateur class championship, Kake. It was a brilliant performance from you throughout the season.
Yep, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
And Dan, can we get Raja into the VC? I think he's an ACC voice, and just drag him into the VC so that we can talk to him as well.
Give me
Well, Raja, P3 for you in
AM
AM class, great performance from you. I mean, you were 3-4 laps down, so I think you were just having a chilled out race, but yeah, good points for you in the end, and you finished P3 in AM class. Raja, you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. So,
Hello.
what are your thoughts on the race? Can you give us your thoughts?
Yeah, actually, from my side, it's like only 1% only. So remaining 99% credit goes to the weather. I had a worst crash with Faizan after the
Yes,
hairpin.
we saw that.
So
We
it
were
was
very
like,
shocked.
yeah, it was like 4 minutes. I couldn't drive to pits.
Well,
So
yeah.
I had to
You literally went
RTG to
and
pits.
T-boned him. We saw that.
Yeah, and a lot of the people were quitting and weather was getting worse. So I thought of keeping it in the track. So whatever comes, I'll take it. So nothing much from my side. Had a good championship. Previous races had good battle with Kake. Deepak, it was fun overall actually. And this is my first season, so I'm enjoying. I enjoyed it a lot, Slaya. And I need to thank you also for motivating me in between the races, especially had fun. So yeah,
Well,
Good performance, Kake nahi,
Raja.
Raja. And yeah, well done to you, man. You finished P3 in AM class today out of the 8 finishers that we had. And yeah, good for you. Good haul of points. And I hope that shoots you up in the standings.
and
Well,
thanks for the coordinators for such a weather which helped
Yeah,
me
welcome.
actually. Yeah. Okay, guys.
Kake will have to
Thank you.
take all of the slander in ACC chat after we're done here. And yeah, let's see
And
Yes,
how
sir.
that
Vires has
unfolds.
won.
yeah, people were asking where rain, where rain, where rain, all the thing.
There's
And
your end.
finally, coordinators
they,
heard
they, they
the
got
call.
all the rain that they needed since the beginning of the season itself. All of
I
it
The
put
think
fun
together in one
fact,
race.
the original setting was actually giving flooded tracks earlier, so coordinators actually had to tone it down a little bit so that it won't get flooded.
Yeah.
So
well, these
thanks for
conditions
showing
weren't
some
any less
mercy.
treacherous. So
Yeah, well, you can imagine what would happen if flooded.
yes,
But
Okay,
exactly.
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, I think the coordinators have definitely done a good job in figuring out a very chaotic setting. It was definitely nice.
Congrats to all the winners of all the categories, all the podium finishers. Yeah,
Well,
that would be my end.
nice and humble from Raja to end our podium interviews for today for the finale of ACC season 4.
But
And
hold on,
yes,
Slaya. Before we go any further, let's show our viewers the software which helped us stream this wonderful event. So let's quickly jump on board that a short clip describing ACC TV.
yes, definitely. Let's show it to our viewers.
And yes, that was the ACC TV trailer there that we saw earlier. So yes, mighty thanks to the developers of the software. I'm pretty sure that we will use it to its fullest extent in the seasons that are yet to come. For in the ACC league, or if we have an AC league itself, AC there is an AC TV as well. I'm not sure if it's from the same developers, but yeah, it is a similar. It has a similar sort of interface, usage, etc., etc. So, yeah. Yes, definitely. We will have many more interesting, exciting streams, exciting races to watch. So yeah, well, that wraps it up for the grand finale of season 4 of the ACC League, IRC ACC League. So yes, I have been involved in a few of in streaming a few races myself, right from the Dutch GP, where we had some pretty interesting, pretty shocking moments as well. I mean, not just in that race itself, but throughout the season as well. Season itself, yeah. yes, we definitely. Yes. Yes, it would go. It would definitely go a long way in helping us reach out to more of the racers or racing enthusiasts within our country. And yes, well, that wraps it up for the stream today. This is me, Dan, the SSJ Assassin, signing out. And yes, this is your cue, gentlemen, where you also give your goodbyes.